What's up?
Hey, what do you say? Hey, what's up? First of all, salute to my man VPS in the building. Hey, what do you say? It's your guy Blue Eyes. We back Scandalous World podcast, and tonight I got a very, very, very special guest, VPS, coming out of Vegas. But I can tell you better than I can tell you. So let them know.
What's up?
Let them know what's your name, where you from. Let them know, bro.
Hey, so they call me VPS, Vegas Profile Stories. Was Vegas Prison Stories when I started on YouTube with
Formerly
all
known
these.
as Vegas Prison Stories. Yeah, I was gonna say
Hmm.
formerly known, like the eyes formerly known as Vegas Prison Stories. Now Vegas Profile Stories, VPS. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Out of Nevada. Done a good amount of time in Nevada state prisons and county jails and what have yous. The good spots to be, all the good clubs. Uh, Mainly high desert state prison though. So it's rocking and
Okay.
rolling out in that place, and now I do biker stuff on the internet. You know,
Yeah, and very successful, I might say. Your page, I've seen it grow over the years. We're gonna do this like some day one stuff, but me and PS, we go back ways. We went on YouTube Streets podcast many times. We've been on panels, lives, more times than I can count. I've been rocking and rolling with him for a grip. This is my guy. But I've seen your page grow, and once you went the biker road, it just went crazy. That's we're gonna get into that later. We're gonna start from the beginning. Like I said, we're gonna act like they don't know. They know, but we're gonna act like they don't know. So
for sure.
I know you this time, and when I was younger, I think of Vegas. I think of casinos, gambling, Luciano mob. Turning the desert into this big playground, if you will. Like my mind immediately goes there. But once I got on YouTube and started working with dudes like you, I started seeing a different side of Nevada, and I started seeing that there's some real solid dudes out there, some real stand up guys out there that from there, not just dudes that
Hmm.
came immigrated to there, New York and Boston and Philly and Chicago, etc. The mob, this stand up individuals, real solid dudes
Yeah.
from Nevada, and I've seen documentaries, History Channel, National Geographic, Gangland, you name it. I've watched it, I studied it, I pay attention to all of it. But we're gonna get into the story a little bit. We're gonna get into the prison bits and the street stuff. But let's start early on, like before before you got to prison and hit the jails and all that stuff. Because I'm sure you went to jail first, and then prison probably came. That's usually how it
Yeah.
goes. Um, but let's talk about the streets. Like, what was childhood like growing up out there? And did you originally grow up in Nevada?
So now I grew up in Mississippi mostly, but like North Carolina, Washington State, and then Mississippi. And when I was what 6, 7 years old, uh, my mom she couldn't take care of us. We were homeless, living in a car, and she made a hard decision. She put us into like a Mississippi Baptist Children's Home is what it's called, like an orphanage.
Oh, right.
And I lived there uh till I was like 14, and we didn't know where my dad was at the time. And my sister had gotten a hold of some lady through the IRS or something that we had met through the church. Uh, and that lady
Okay.
went and hunted my dad down, which would have costed her her job, and sent him a letter
Right.
letting him know where we were. And then boom, my dad was there, and we moved to like Southern Illinois with him. And then he died about a year later. But
Wow.
yeah, bro.
That's rough. I was just letting the chat know. I'll fix the thumbnail and title there. Salute to everybody in the chat. Sorry for your loss. I gotta be hard, especially as a youngster. You don't know what's going on. You're being moved all around. You're all over the place. There's no stability, right? And especially as a youth, whether you know it or not, we crave structure and routine. And it seemed like there was none of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there were the ladies that took care of us in that home. They were like sisters. And they were all sisters. They all worked there. whole family, and they became our family. They treated us
That's
good.
good. So you got lucky because some people end up in a bad spot, especially out here in Boston. You hear about it all the time. In group home and DIS and even the church wasn't a safe place. A lot of people didn't push religion on us because there's a lot of shady stuff going on, and it is real
Yeah.
dangerous. Like it was real tight. You only trusted your family and your neighborhood basically. So that's good that you actually lucked out and landed in a place where people actually took care of you and cared about you.
Well, yeah. So we had hundreds of acres of crop and when I say we, there was like 30 to 40 kids usually there, right? Ranging from
Right.
babies all the way up to 16, 17 years old. Uh, and so the kids, we just had run of all this land. We had cows, we had pigs, we planted our own crop. You know what I'm saying? We would like trade our cows off to the butcher to get half back, for free,
Damn.
basically. Yeah. So
The
he's
farm life, bro.
yeah. So, but it was cool. Like I was swinging a Kaiser blade at 7 years old, clearing fence row and stuff
That's
with it.
awesome.
Yeah, bro. But
That's
I loved
something
it.
people dream about nowadays to own
Yeah.
land and have a farm and have their own, fruits
Hmm.
and vegetables and animals and livestock. And that's like a
Yeah.
dream. You could whip the four wheelers, the dirt bikes and shit like that. You're off grid, you can kind of tear it up. I'm been to the bikes, the dirt bikes, the ATVs, the
Hmm.
four wheelers, and that'd be like a perfect setting, something like that, for me to have some land and self sustainable. If it ever hit the fan, you got your own,
Yeah.
crops, animals
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
survive, basically.
Yeah. It was cool. Like, yeah. And the ladies, they tried to, we call 'em Aunt Jean, Aunt Bertha, and Aunt Catherine, right? And you had a younger boys' dorm, older boys' dorm, and the girls' dorm. And I went from the younger boys' dorm to the older boys' dorm, probably 13,
Right.
14. But we all got along pretty good. I mean, we fought every day in the fields, but that was just like
Yeah. Yeah,
nobody
that
really
comes
took
with
it to
the
heart.
territory.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then we I don't know. It was cool. Like I don't look back at that time in my life and people are like, "Oh my god." And I'm just like, "Yo, like besides missing my parents, which you cry yourself to
Right.
sleep for months on. But after
Of
you
course.
get over that, uh it was cool. Like life was cool growing up. But then when my
It's
dad
cool.
died, my mom showed up with Aunt Jean from the home. And I don't know, in our minds, basically when she said, bad news, guys, your dad was taken last night. Uh our mind goes to why is Aunt Jean here then? She's here because they're trying to put us back in the home. So we skedaddled, the three of us. And my sister was like, I don't know, she's 2 years older than me, and I was 15. So she's like 17 at the time. I'm 15 and my brother's 13. And we went to Vegas looking for like one of my dad's sisters.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you was in pursuit of not.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's when you landed in Vegas. Like, how old were you think? If you if
15.
you if you remember.
Yeah, 15.
15. Okay.
Barely 15. Yeah.
So you was already kind of a country boy at heart. You was on the
Oh
farm, you
yeah. Yeah, I probably
from
had
down
an
south.
accent and everything. You
Right.
grow up like that, and then I mean it's still probably in my cadence or things that I say or how I say things.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So then you get out to the West Coast. Does everything change right away? How was it when you got to Nevada?
I mean, well, first when if you've never come over to Hill and seen Vegas at night lit up, you just don't know what you're missing. You coming in from
Yeah.
Arizona and you come up over the hill and boom, it is like breathtaking, right? So we see
different
that.
city.
Yeah, that's probably the last time I felt hope or joy, because then we don't find what we're looking for in Vegas, uh, and it's just kids on the street, straight to the street.
Yeah. Did you start getting in trouble at an early age? What was it like, in Vegas
Oh yeah, bro.
early?
I was a good student in high school too. That's what sucks. Is like I have great grades and stuff. And
Right,
my senior year, me and the guys from my neighborhood, uh, basically my best friends in the world still. We go to the high school. We're in the parking lot. We're picking up my brother, and there's three of us in the car. And then my brother gets there. Well, my brother doesn't come. Our other friend Mike does. We get into this scuffle with like 20 dudes, and I go to fighting the big old. He looked like he took roids, bro. He was too jacked to be in high school, but I get to brawl with
right.
him, and some gunplay happens. Uh, I'm squared up. I'm fighting this dude. He's fighting, and the gunplay happens behind us. Jump in my car, and our boy Mike jumps in, and my best friend A Train, and uh, my other friend Joe. We try to pull out in my car. He's driving it at this point, and this dude that I was fighting backs his truck into mine, pinning us in. There's like 20 of them. So we just out
Yeah.
each window, me and A Train just start bucking on this dude's truck,
Right.
right? He gets out the way, we leave. Well, they start a manhunt on us. I'm like 17
Oh
years old,
man.
and they chase us, and they get the ATF involved, uh, U.S. Marshals, and
Oh, that's
ATF.
never good.
Now, like a month in running, the ATF kicks down three doors simultaneously looking for us, right? One of them's my house, one of them is uh, my next door neighbor's house, and then my friend's house. Um,
Right.
but the whole time they're telling her, and this is like the Janet Reno ATF, if you don't know nothing about that. They're the ones that went down there to Miami, yeah, stuck the MP right up in little
Yeah.
Elian Gonzalez's face.
It was active. Yeah, it was active. Back in the day, you used to watch that
Yeah,
show Claws, and whoo, that was an active place.
yeah. So that ATF starts saying they're going to pop us if they see us, and we run, right? So I'm like, damn. All right. The U.S. Marshals left a card with like my then girlfriend became my first baby's mom. Uh, and so I get the card, and I was like, ATF's gonna get me, bro. I was worried. They had just
Mhm.
done Ruby Ridge, Waco, Alien
Oh,
Gonzalez. Like they were not playing at that point. And
that's the worst one. They do not play when you the alphabet boys, bro. Listen, dealing with cops is one thing. I tell people, see, troopers, that's another level. Stadies, they're the worst out here. But
yeah,
when them alphabet boys start to come, like that, I used to knock
yeah,
the door all the time, looking for my father. My mother, like, get the fuck out of here. You gotta walk slamming the in their face. But they would come right in the doorway, like, Ronnie, we don't care about your weed and whatever you got going on. If you're hustling this and they do everything. They're like, listen, have you seen your father? I'm like, listen, I haven't talked to him. Matter of fact, they see him, let him know he owes some child support. I'd bust their balls. See you later, slam the door in their face, but they're so persistent. They do not give up. When they come with a rock solid case. So
oh yeah,
even back in the day in the project when the AT came around, it was like everyone's hiding their things and stuff like that. Whether they were there for pistols, I remember one time they came down. There was these Asians in the neighborhood selling knockoff cigarettes from China, the Chinese
hell
Marlboro,
yeah,
and
yeah. He's
when the
just
ATF
hustling.
came, everyone is bugging like, get rid of the gun. that they thinking the ATFs were for the guns, and they actually cut him down and went to the last place we were expecting, and they hit the cheese house over um the mob rolls because they were selling them for like 5 a pack. Crazy people in and out the door all day, like that's still buying like five of them at a time, 5 for 20 or something crazy. Like, um, yeah, that's a different type of feeling when you got the FBI or the ATF or anything like that. It's just different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So so I take this card, I call this the number on the card, right? And tell the US Marshals who I am, you know, hey, this is me. Uh, ATF's telling my mom that they're gonna pop me. Like, what do I gotta do to turn myself in? And it was on like a Friday. And he goes, well, the weekend doesn't make sense to arrest you and put you in on the weekend, right? He's like,
You'll be
so
stuck for Monday.
yeah, so Monday, basically Monday, meet me at this McDonald's over here, and I went, and the dude came and arrested me and took me in for it. But listen, I can't not try to run. Like it's just kind
But
of I'm 17. If I see him, I'm gonna
in the
run just out
nation,
of fear.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I didn't want to take that chance. Even at 17, I was like, ooh, I've seen what they've done.
yeah. The same local police, bro. They know running. It's a matter of time if, but when they catch
Yeah.
up, and it's only gonna get worse in the long run. Sometimes it just turns you in, face the consequence, get it over with. Especially when you're living in bed, paranoid, looking over your shoulder. It's like you can only live on the run for so long before you get
Oh
up, and
yeah.
it's kind of just like, all right, I'll clear my name and my life.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first time I was ever on the run, and it was a pretty serious time. After that, I've ran for 2 straight years one time.
Yeah,
And from the from a state charge that I was on parole and absconded for, or probation and absconded for, and ran from them fools that, hey, I was in houses that they actively were knocking on doors while they were doing it.
yeah, that's
So,
crazy. So,
yeah.
did they end up taking you in? How old were you? Was that first charge?
Yeah, that was my first charge, first time I had any, uh, real interaction with any police officer in my life. And,
Run into the law.
they end up charging us for, like, 15 counts of attempt, sending somebody to the upper room, one for
Yeah,
everybody that was in the general direction of where we fired. And it was like, "Damn it." Granted, we're high school kids at this point. You know what I'm saying?
right. That's a
It's not like
serious charge at that age, and for your first offense, it's like, well, what are we doing here?
yeah. So, my boy A Train, his parents are and they're filthy rich. They're like half a billionaire, and that's not even a made up number. Like they're half a billionaire, and so
It's
he
crazy.
has the best lawyer in town, and I got like a public defender, and Aaron ends up A Train.
Oh, not the public. This.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was gonna get more time than he was for sure. Uh,
Oh, believe it.
but then I found out that he did put a report with the police or the detectives or whatever agents and took all the claim for it and said I didn't do anything and that I didn't know that he had a gun, uh, and uh, was set to testify on my behalf, basically in my trial.
Wow, that's solid. The stand up guy.
That's
That stuff you see no more. That's rare and live a dying breed. Back in the day, that was normal here. Like why we all don't go down like it. One person take it on the chin. I got nothing to say and see nothing and hear nothing, say nothing. But nowadays, people will throw you on the bus for less than. So
that's my best friend still to this day.
different.
Uh,
They will.
and what had happened is he had gotten a deal for, because like I said, we were charged with 15 of those, 15, uh, however many shots were fired is how many we were charged with firing into an occupied vehicle and firing from an occupied vehicle. And it was like, and then there were the enhancements because it was in a school parking lot. Even though we were students, there still an enhancement. Uh, and So we were looking at all that, and his great lawyer gets him a deal for like 12 to 30 months or something, 12 to 36 months, basically a 3-year back end for one count of firing and from, or firing into an auto, and one count of firing from. And when he was able to get that deal, he went to the agents and the detectives and stuff, and he put that report in.
Oh yeah, we're taking that's bad considering that,
Yeah,
when the party transpired. That's not in the play.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, it didn't matter. Me and him, that's the first person I ever stole a car with right there. And we were boosting, 3 or 4 cars a night from two different auto sales places, jails. Basically, we found out what
Right.
lot they were parking, the ones that hadn't come to the lot yet. And this is when like Kias had Pioneer decks in, or Alpine decks in them. So we were hitting all the Kias for
What?
the Alpine decks and then robbing the car that we wanted to get out of there. It was bad. And I mean, we were ripping and roaring. When he got out, it was even worse.
Oh yeah, because that's
But
a little bit of it either goes from my experience, what I've seen, it goes one of two ways. In a very rare case, some people get scared. Like I'm upset. I have my, some people like, and what's the worst that happened? I already went through it. I've learned a little bit along the way. Now I'm the way up. Like it's time to go on go mode. You just sometimes
yeah,
people hit the ground, especially at that age. You're active outside.
yeah, yeah, it was, yeah, and gunplay wasn't nothing for us, like, obviously. And when we got arrested that time for that incident, they end up when we got away, we took the bangers, we went to the homegirl's house where they were having a get together, a kickback, right? So we all show up. They don't know what's going on. We're at the kickback. We put the bangers into her cinder block wall, right? When nobody's looking, we thought, but somebody was looking, and they told old girl, and old girl called the cops, and they had the bangers, and they were stolen out of cars from a Marine.
Oh man, so always look. Back then you had 50-50. Nowadays someone's always looking. If you ain't on camera, you're
Hmm.
somebody's phone. Like nowadays impossible. But back then you actually had a chance, like, especially in the neighborhood, it was no one
Oh
spoke
yeah,
to the cops, no one see it, no one heard shit, no one shit, but it's just
I
different time living in nowadays. It's like 30 cameras everywhere. If not, you're on someone's phone. Like
yeah. Back then we didn't have all that. We didn't have none of that. I mean, you had like street cams, but it was every camera you could say it wasn't you if you were far enough away from it because it was just grimy. Video was
right.
grimy back then, but uh, I'm not saying you should, but you could take a spark plug, boom, on the ground as hard as you can, get a little piece, right? And throw it like a
Yeah.
baseball at a tinted window, and it makes
Yeah.
zero sound, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Brother taught me that when I was younger. We would actually brush them up and ground them and
Mhm.
sprinkle it, and it was just like magic. That's just
Mhm.
it was better than cinder block, better than
Oh, yeah.
brick. It worked. That's why we call it
Oh,
magic. It was like magic. Just one sprinkle, and the whole shit would just shatter.
I remember we were drunk one night, and I don't know if I can tell the story. Oh, no. Yeah, I can. Fuck it. Alright. So we're drunk one night, and I pick up this boulder, bro, and there's somebody's car, and I'm like, here's how we're getting home, basically, right? I ran and I went to throw this thing at the window and hit the door. Boom! It was so loud, bro. I was like, oh, I think we had to run from the helicopter that time and everything on foot.
Yeah, I bet,
Oh,
bro. I've been yeah, actually. I remember being so young. I picked up a brick. I must have been 90 pounds and wet. I picked up a brick. I at this car window, and my mother always told me, crush up spark plugs. You know, use the
mm-hmm.
dust. We called them magic dust, and like it would just break windows. So I was in a rage. Something transpired. He robbed one of my homies or something, or something like that. And I just grabbed the thing I seen. It was a boulder, and I at the window. I don't know what the fuck this car was made out of, but the fucking brick bounced back and came straight for my face. That dog shit like that makes. I almost hit in the face with my own brick, and I got even more mad and grabbed that shit with twice as high. It finally broke, but I mean, that shit almost was back and hit me in the face, bro. Live and you learn, bro.
Bro,
The
look.
dumb shit you do when you're young, dumb, and you know.
So they make this break-proof glass on the storefronts, right? Well,
Right,
me and my homegirl, I'll talk about it now because it was a long time ago. Me and my homegirl, we're talking, and we need some money, and she's like, "I got the perfect lick. Let's go. Nobody will do it with me." I have a banger on me at the time. It's night. I, we park in like apartments behind the place. Come walking around like we're just lovers walking, but I got this big hand-sized marble, a boulder in my hand that I had found in the desert, and we're sitting here and we're acting like we're dancing. You know what I'm saying? Because cars are going by, and there's like a bar down the way. They'll probably just think we're drunk, so that we don't look weird. If that doesn't look weird enough,
right.
and as soon as that car goes by, I just boom, right? It bounces right off of this stuff, just spiders it, but doesn't. And
Right.
she comes in behind me, picks it up, boom, hits it again, and it bounces off. And I pull the thing, I said, boom, right? And I kick it, the window still didn't go in, bro. Yeah. Me and old girl
Yeah,
were like, all
yeah, them
right,
things are
that's
like
enough noise.
fortress.
Because the plot
Yeah,
was
yeah.
we were
On to the
parked
next.
we were parked in the apartment behind the place over the wall, you know what I'm saying? So the plan was go in through the front, snatch and grab what we're there for, through the back door, up over the wall, in the car and gone, right? Nah, it didn't work
In
like
and
that.
out.
Yeah, we had to walk our ass back around the place.
Oh, man,
It was bad.
that's that's crazy. I can imagine it. And it's just like you said. As soon as you get in, it's like it's just so lit down there. You know,
Oh
I can
yeah,
imagine it's hard to alleys and where I'm sure it's out there, but like as soon as you hit Vegas, you feel like you're in another realm. Like it's a whole nother, you know,
you're in the dryer, bro.
the crime and that. Yeah, the crime and the activity out there. It's just people are constantly hustling. It's like people outside. It's always something going on, you know?
Hell yeah, that's how it is in Vegas. Even the grandmas will get your ass,
Man,
bro. Like it's hustlers.
yeah, yeah, you'll get to this in the gym. And honestly, at this age, I'm kind of scared to even go to Vegas. I feel like
You'll be
I
fine.
get drunk, blast, and come back with Vegas. I come back with the Tyson tattoo on my face, like Hang 3 or some shit, like
That's
Hangover 2,
okay.
whatever it was. Like,
That's okay though.
you know what I mean? I go all out. Go when
Yeah, it's
I
it's
go
okay
all
though.
out. Go hard. I go home. You
You're
might
allowed
leave
to
with
go
some
to Vegas and get the
charges. You know what I mean?
Tyson tattoo, bro. Like that's you went to Vegas, you lived it
Come
up.
back with the tat, bro. I know me, bro. You be out there. Oh man. But in all serious, we the new casino here not too long. We got the Encore Casino right
Okay.
real to Boston, right on the Charlestown line. And as soon as it hit, I was fluently there. Something it was like you have to travel Foxwoods and go out of state. It was right in our backyard, so like you can imagine between the mobs and the crew kind of have hands in it, even in the building process and it dicey for a while, but I did have some wild times though. There's some crazy it's lit hotel room, mad girl, shoot music video, all kinds of shit. Up like 2 3 later, like oh, like I had weekends like I probably partied and started in more than most people have in a lifetime. Just one weekend at the casino. You know what I mean? So I guess it's nothing but casino and strip. So like I could imagine the party and there, but so you have a few run, you have a few close. So when did you start actually cases that ended you in jail or eventually prison? What
Oh,
was your first case that actually you in jail?
all right. So first, well, besides the high school parking lot incident, uh, my
Right,
first case after that was probably a few months later. Uh, I don't know, maybe either possession of stolen vehicle or grand larceny or something. We got caught trying to boost like a Ford Ranger or something back then, and and they caught up with us. It was actually a crazy ass scene, that one. I'm in my own car. A train's behind me in a stolen Pathfinder, and
right,
we're up in Summerlin. We're like halfway across the city from where we had just that's where we had found the bangers, right? Uh,
right,
Not the Marine bangers. That this is after. You know
right.
what I'm saying? So we found some bangers in the Ford, and the dude must have told him that he had bangers in there because the dude yelled as soon as like we were still in the car, his car when he yelled. So we grabbed, what everything that we had already pulled out and put in front of us and took off. So he calls the cops.
Right.
They know they're looking for a red Eclipse and like a silver Pathfinder, right?
Not that finder. Oh man,
Yeah, yeah. I love me some Pathfinders, bro.
I've had my own experience with the path, but that's another night. But whew,
Yeah. So
took that shit off. I drove in the projects with that finder on the curb, on the grass, donuts. I almost that shit. It was
yeah.
great, but that
So we see one cop. He's got his lights on. He's racing towards us in Summerlin, and we come up on the Summerlin Parkway, and I hit my right blinker, trying to tell A Train to peel off of me, right? Because we'd already just seen that cop go by us. He hadn't turned around yet, but he was about to. And A Train doesn't. He stays on me. So I make the next right, hoping that he'll peel straight. He doesn't. He stays on me. Next thing I know, there's cops in front of me, cops behind me, right? So I pull over real quick,
oh
and he pulls over behind me too. And I'm like, oh, here we go. So so you have a cop behind me, him pulled over, a cop behind him, and all the cops over here, and then you have the cop that pulled me over in front of us is a couple of cops that tried to pin in the road, right? So I'm playing it like I'm in my own car. I'm with my boy Scottish and roll the window down. This fool was already got it pointed at us, right?
oh
He comes in, he hits me with something, maybe a flashlight, knocks me off my clutch, stalled the car out. I wasn't gonna run anyway. It was my car. I owned the damn thing.
right.
I was just gonna claim I
Play
didn't
home
know A
comments,
Train,
bro.
bro. you know? And to make things
Yep.
better, this fool, he peels out on him, right? I hear,
Wow.
hey, hey, and then I hear Twista because it was all CDs back then. He had put the Twista CD into this thing and hit like mob stability, right?
Track
So
G time.
so he swerves to the cop that's got me pulled over, puts him on my hood, barely avoids hitting me, right? Like he would have taken the cop out if the cop didn't jump on my hood. And he takes off and they boom, rush my car, right? We jump out. I'm like, what the hell's going on, yo? I'm Sammy Sausage Head. Scottish is like, it's his mom's ride. It's his mom's ride. I'm like, Scottish, shut the fuck up, bro. And so A Train peels out, swerves around the back end of one of the cops that is V'd in right there, bangs the next left, and all we hear is boom, right? I said, uh oh, that's not good. A Train had jumped out the damn thing while he was like in a slide, basically trying to bend a corner into a neighborhood, and just bailed out the door, bro. Left that thing go sliding and moving forward, bro. Just
Ghost
rolled out
Rider.
and took off. Yeah, and made it through that
Oh
roll.
shit.
So next thing I know, it's who are they? Who are they? I'm like, "Ah, hey, bro, we were just going to see some girls up here. I don't know who they are. That ain't got nothing to do with us, right?" And
Right.
I guess they catch A Train about an hour later. I'm sitting in the back of the cop car the whole time on scene still. I think they didn't know if they were even going to charge me or not at that point. So Aaron, he has this dude Nick with him, and they went separate ways. They find Aaron like an hour or two later, hiding in a hot tub, covered up, and he jumped out and
Oh,
tried to
in the
pet.
hot tub.
Yeah, jumped out and tried to pet the dog. A Train's
Oh,
like that.
oh, that's the worst.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, not the dog. Oh no,
So
the canine.
yeah, hey, the canine just jumped out like, "Hey, boy, what's up?" It's he's nuts.
Not a good move, bro.
Now it didn't work out. So
Not gonna work out.
Nick they had caught before they had caught A Train, and Nick tells them, "Yeah, we were all together." I said, "Well, on our way to
Damn.
jail, my car ran out of gas, bro. I think my Eclipse probably bangs the corner, but I couldn't get over the curb to get around the cops that were in front of me like him. I was in an Eclipse, bro. That fool was in a stolen Pathfinder. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah. That going up curb, off road, all that. Shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, bucked him.
I'm finding the path. Pathfinder. We're finding path.
Yeah, hey,
If the realm, we're gonna create. We're gonna find a path with the Pathfinder. I've been there. That's
so
crazy.
so we both go to jail. They end up sending another car to pick me up after we ran out of gas. I was like, man, if I'd have known you were out of gas, I might have tried to take off from you to begin with before all these
Right.
other cops came up. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
I mean, there's everything. Thinking the same thing, especially with the gas and the
yeah.
wow.
And I got 12 to 30 months on that. And I was out in like 13 months. You know, pretty. You're only there because we were fighting a case. My my first on that 1 to 3, man. I was only on the prison yard for like, I don't know, man, 7 months. Like
And that's
I wasn't even a prospect for anything or none of that, bro.
right.
I was green to the prison system. But
Right. I was gonna ask. Did you end in county jail? They sent you. You ended up going to prison,
I
or
ended
were
up
you
going to
county jail
prison. I was
for?
in county jail for like 6 months, uh, just fighting the case, taking a plea deal,
Right.
and then you know 7 months, something like that. But it was when Southern Desert was still the fish tank. They were still building High Desert at that time.
Oh, so like some classifications.
No, no, it's
Because I know.
still going down. All Nevada
Yeah.
prisons are like that, but uh, at that time, that was the max yard in the Southern Nevada for men
Wow.
was Southern
Because
Desert.
I
We
was
called
gonna.
it Indian
Yeah, I know.
Springs.
I know. I was gonna say I know. County jails at times, especially if you're used to the system. My father used to like he would wait to get sent to state and get settled. He already had a reputation. Like he'd
Yeah,
rather do state time. He hated county jails. He's like me at Walpole, get the fuck over. Like he just hated the roof. He would go up, settle with the guy. and he was just kind of his life. He did life on the install plan. He called it. He was
Yeah.
always in five here, three, five here, five in here. He just my whole life. Whenever I Vegas, it seems like because everything is so wild out there, it seems like the county jail could get active. Everybody in there, whether you're waiting to go upstate do life, if you're just there, a weekend, you got everything in there in the county.
Yeah. 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 I mean, county sucks. After going to prison the first
Yeah,
time,
that's
all you learned is you can do prison. And
right.
I'd rather listen. If I'm guilty and I'm sitting in county fighting a case, I'm looking for that sweet plea deal. Just send me to prison already where the food's better,
Set
everything's
upstate.
a little bit better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's basically what I was getting at. County could be a little ruthless at times,
Hmm.
a little unorganized,
Oh
and when
yeah.
we get to prison, as it's a lot more shit. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh
that's
yeah.
kind of where I'm going with that. Was there still like I'm sure there were organizations and was this
Yeah.
active in the county? I was county,
I mean, oh yeah. Yeah. So in Nevada, the prison cars run the county too. And
of
we're
course.
pretty militant in the county also. Maybe not on the South Tower. That's like the drunk tank is what we call it, but North Tower,
Right.
where the cells are and where the high, you know, uh,
Yeah,
violent crime or high profile or security threat group, basically gang members, validated gang members, they put us all in North Tower. So
yeah,
I don't know, counties, but then you got the bums and the drunks that get arrested for
yeah.
drinking
It
too
could be
much and
like the
getting
same
arrested on the
sometimes.
strip. Yeah.
They're like the county. Sometimes it could be whether you're in classification or you're just in tank. The drunk tank, fish tank, or the in cells or classification, or you
Yeah.
get sent up. Call it the fish because you got everybody in there, everybody in there, father in there, everyone in there, father in there. You got people in there that are just there for the weekend on some shit or disorderly conduct, and then people wait to go out late to do life. Like, people sleep on money sometimes. In reality,
Hmm.
most people that hit prison eventually they through county in some situations. You know what I
Yeah, you
mean?
have to. Yeah, you have to. You have to sit in
Of
county and
course.
fight your case. Or, I mean, you could have bailed out and not really done much county time, but you still go to the county waiting to go to prison. So everybody goes through county to get to prison. Uh, even when you're
Exactly.
arrested on like parole violation, they don't just take you straight to the prison. They take you to jail, and,
Right, right.
and then they
That's
do it
how
that way.
out here. I didn't speak on
Yeah.
Nevada. Obviously, I don't know too much about that, but basically, in Massachusetts, it's like gonna hit the county. You're gonna the police station. You're gonna hit county, and then you're gonna get upstate, which is prison. Call it
Hmm.
up.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I mean, the organizations is very militant. Uh, very militant. The prison
And
gang life is a real thing in Nevada. It really is.
right. And because a lot of people get accused, they consider you know, if you're in gang, it's cool, but if sometimes it's like if you're in the right organization, they automatically assume your race, and they don't understand the politics of survival on the coast, like
Hmm.
California. It is whether people like it or not, usually racially segregated. So
Absolutely.
get into that a little bit, like you know, on the East Coast, I'm up north. I'm in Massachusetts and Boston. It's a little different. It's about from your hood, your city, town, etc. With
Hmm.
state, you it's about where you're from. Um, I know the West Coast and Vegas and Nevada and Arizona is a lot like
Yeah.
California is for racial politics.
Oh yeah.
Get into
Yeah.
that a little. I know different cars, different organizations and stuff like that, and basically it's get that down. You're either gonna be the prey, you're not
Yeah.
gonna be a victim, so you gotta get where you fit in, right?
Yeah. So I mean, there are white guys in almost every car in Nevada, whether it's the Bloods, the Crips, the A Dubs, obviously the Woods, Southsiders, Norteños, Nevada Trece, whoever, right? You're always gonna have like a white guy in those. But that dude,
Right.
the assignment, like we say, when I became an A Dub, you everybody has an assignment on the yard, and if something goes down, that's who you're assigned to get, right? And
That
every
was gonna
one of the
be first question.
hmm
I didn't want to cut you off bad, but that was gonna
hmm
be my first question. You know, for the dudes that are white running in a dominantly black gang, it comes riots, I'm a pop off. They usually first target. Let's clean up this trade, so called whatever race trade that they. Now this is just what it's called. I ain't don't
yeah,
shoot the messenger, but this is how it goes as far
yeah,
as I'm concerned on the West Coast. Right? This is just
hmm
how it goes. They will be either approached and given an option, and if they didn't take the route that were expected to take, eventually they have to look over this basically, right?
So, like the Woods are expected when you come in, we're gonna hit you up. We're gonna, you know, see if you're claiming or running wood. You feel me? Uh, and if you're like, no, I'm a blood or crip or whatever, right? Uh, we get along well. We got along with Southsiders and most of the Mexican gangs. We get along with the Mexicans very well, at least did.
Right,
Uh, and so any black gang that has a white member, basically, we're gonna rush him. We're gonna rush him on the yard to see two things: if the blacks are gonna ride for him and how he holds himself in that, you know, and if he makes it through it. After that, he's got an assignment. If he's tough enough to walk the yard, hey, that's your guys' problem. Deal with it. We don't want to hear none of anything got to do with him, right? But in the background, three dudes are assigned to get him, and he's one of the only people on that yard that's gonna have three dubs on him because we're gonna get him
right.
first. Uh, but it just is what it is, you know. The woods run under the A Dubs, the Aryan Warriors. Um,
Yeah,
and then there's factions, right? Like that's why we don't get along with California's top skin, the ones that run it, right?
right.
We get along with all the others,
The ones,
Peni and all them. We get along with them great.
right,
Just the head of the snake, had issues, I guess, in the feds. We've had some issues because of that in the state. One that I was involved in, but don't really ever want to talk about publicly.
right.
And so when it comes to that, like you have very few. We don't allow recruiting on any yards from the AW side of things, right? You can be in another tip. You just ride with the woods and you know what I'm saying, eat with us, sell with us, all that. Good wood. But we don't allow you to recruit for your tip. Like that's our yards. And
Right,
we started to and basically our number one rule in the manifesto, number one opening in it is we protect children of all types, right? And that's
respect,
important. So
of course.
we're not really on and that's the big thing with the even though we're considered a skinhead tip and are a skinhead tip, uh, we just don't run under that AB. They don't tell us what to do. We're our own thing, right?
Right.
So it causes issues, but we run Nevada for sure. And if you're not running with us,
Yeah, I could imagine.
we're gonna try and get you. Yeah,
Yeah, type if you're not running with it, ran over type.
yeah. And this
And
is
in
all on the
Boston and
4
in
yard.
Massachusetts. Yeah, in Massachusetts, you have your Wangs, if you will. You got the boys, you see Dubs, the crazy white boys. That's what when you're a white dude and you're locked up out here, even if it's just in a police station or county jail.
Mhm.
I was lucky enough to not go to prison, but I've been a few times and a lot of family and friends. My whole family time. Godfather, my brothers, my uncles, my cousins. We have
Yeah.
nephews time now. Um, the C dub, the crazy wipes, you're automatically
Mhm.
called the dub. That's so when you say the A dub, the dubs,
Yeah.
automatically think the crazy
See, yeah.
boys, the C dubs. That's
Yeah.
that's call each other like the white boy here. They call
Yeah.
each other dub, and the crazy white they I C dub. And
Yeah.
other than you got the boys, the boy that one of my father's friend, a whole organization clashing for a little bit, but for
Yeah.
the most, like I
Happens.
said, it's more where you're from. The table is basically a city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you said the dub, I know that the West Coast got the dubs and stuff, but here we got the subs, and it's basically crazy white boy. Like I know
Yeah.
you dirty white boys. Some places on the West
Yeah.
Coast. My buddy
Yeah.
did in Cali. They had the dirty boys, but out here you have the crazy whites, and they by the C dubs, and they call each other dubs. They throw up the dubs, and just
Yeah.
so many of them at one. It was it was hard to become a dub.
Yeah.
Nowadays, there's so many people, and they're basically taking on anyone. It a lot about drugs and stuff like that. It's like if you're white and you hit just the county jail, they recruit for the numbers. It's about numbers.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, there was only
Yeah.
a
That
few
would.
solid dubs in there, but nowadays you go in there and it's like 9% of the white dude dubs if they're not with the boys. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. For us, there's enough of us to keep track of the yards, but I can think of maybe 30 or 40 that are in the prison system right now, and another 20 to 30 that are in the streets. Like it's hard to become a dub.
Yeah, right. And that's I seen that with um excuse me, the ABT. They're one of I know the blessing is the AB at this.
Hmm.
But I seen that down into this with someone I had interviewed, excuse me, from Texas that they actually been real deep in streets. They had people, male, female, men, women,
Hmm.
run the streets of Texas claiming AB and got to a point where it got really deep. You know what I mean? And like the dubs out here, I mean the white boys definitely out in them Massachusetts, but
Yeah.
they got it to a point where it's structured and they do have it's like come in, you're not gonna victimize a random dude. They're gonna get approached by the dub boils right away, and
Hmm.
they're gonna
That's what
sit
our deal is.
down, and if not, they're the one that's gonna go a hard time, baby. You kind of you know be fucked unless you're fucked with by your own people, especially old timers like old school Irish, old school Italians. They're not gonna let one be victimized
No.
or sexually assaulted or
No.
abused down upon that shit. They'll put a stop to like, yo, leave alone, guy. It's not the time we don't do that shit. But
That's our whole
I know it
mission in
gets
life.
curious in other places. Yeah,
That's why the
and it's a
dubs
lot.
were created.
Right, and that's why a lot of these organizations were created initially because I watched a documentary a time ago on the California area hood, and they were basically, it was a form of protect own. A lot
That's
of
it.
people immediately see that and assume racist, but I know they were broke off into two fragments, and one rocks the SWAT, the other one rocks them rock, and not really on that
Hmm.
racist, and it's more about
Yeah.
protecting themselves and coming together and organizing, and
Yeah.
it's about unity and numbers.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we're not a street gang. We're a prison gang. And yes, you're a member for life unless you do something and get yourself put out, which is hard to do too. Like dubs don't really there aren't many dubs that we put out backwards because we're solid. We're smart. Uh we you know, we're sound. And we're all big white
Yeah,
boys that are willing to do it. And and all you need is to lead. It doesn't even have to be something like crazy, everybody's a
You gotta
skilled
stand up.
cage fighter type of
Definitely
dude.
yours. To be a
You
stand up.
just you need
Yeah.
everybody to fight with you to survive.
Yeah.
That's it.
You gotta keep it solid. To be a solid dude. And that's kind
Mhm.
it sounds crazy. It's refreshing to hear. 'Cause I've heard so many scenarios, people getting put out bad because someone else trying to manipulate a situation or gain rank or they didn't agree with each other. They're putting these
Yeah.
dudes and they have check in and they ratted. They never got no bad
Mhm.
judges. They never told no one. They never with no women, no, but they still get out
Yeah.
bad. It's almost refreshing to hear you say that you have to actually do something bad to be out bad.
Look, how many organizations do you know that have many, many more numbers than we do, that have people actively on the internet allowed to just talk freely? I'm one of the longer running dubs. Well, no, there's quite a
Right,
few that are older than me. Uh, but I
right,
was brought in by the leader of the A Dubs. His name's Kenny Crum. He led us for 25 years while he was in the feds doing a RICO sentence of 25 to life, and he came out for a few years and even came on my show. Nobody says anything to us about it because we all support each other. Even when we don't like
yeah,
each other in the dubs, we still love each other for the most part.
right. It's like the bro, like people even if are
Mhm.
getting along, you love them, but you love them from a distance.
Yeah.
Like we have our differences, that's one thing, but I'm not gonna let somebody else talk bad about you and me. We're gonna get it. Whether we're seeing eye to eye or not is irrelevant. You're still brother at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah. And we differ also in California. They send Woods in on DPs on hits sometimes, and it's like, hey, we we don't want you. We're not. We want you to go home. If you're short timing,
Mm,
especially, and you're young, and this is your first time in, and you're scared, and you're frail, and now you're around these dudes where if you don't tap the table before you stand up, or if you reach over somebody's drink or their food, or pass wind
right,
in the chow hall, like you
right,
understand these dudes will take your wind. You shave and you leave hair in that sink, I'm gonna be on you for it because that's our
right.
kitchen. you know.
Again, it sounds crazy, but from what I'm hearing and understand, it's alleged, like the accusations, the allegations. You're not looking to let these dudes crack out. Like you said something very important. You want to see dudes go home. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
A lot of people they're using them as missiles and potatoes, and they want them to
Yeah.
crash out. Misery loves company. People ain't go away
Hmm.
anytime soon.
Yeah.
They want members. They want you around to the point where I've heard of people sabotaging people's dates, their release dates. It gets real. Chris, I'm sure you, but it's actually relieving to hear that you actually look for the cookout, and be
Yeah.
wise for you guys and teach them the right. And
Yeah.
you say we want to see you go home, want to see you do the right thing. You know what I mean? That's actually refreshing because believe it or not, for the people that's listening, that's rare.
Yeah. Absolutely. Especially if there is, if you have a powerful wood car with a powerful tip leading it in any state, things are going to run better for all the whites in that state prison system. It's a fact. And if you don't prey on your own people, everything's everything's good, man. Everything's great. But we have a reputation, A Dubs, and then the riot that popped off 2 years ago. Only I think those men, the three that passed away when they were fighting like 3 to 1 odds in the unit,
Yeah,
went out in such a glorious way that everybody's just got to stand back and sure, we lost that day. We lost two leaders that day, but they
mm,
went out like gangsters. You know,
right.
one of them charging like 12 dudes with knives, and just sidestepping the first one, hitting him in. I got all that footage. Hit him in the neck and then went to the next one. Just valiant, valiant because they were hitting
I
his
think
celly. They jumped on his
right,
celly Muggsy first, and Lil Dog
right.
didn't skip a beat. Was in that wall of knives and went down like a champ, bro. And
Wow.
it's like that's what
So I
you
just
want
want
to
to,
see.
man, right. And it's crazy as it to the outside. You can't judge it until you walk in that man's shoes. And
Hmm.
when you done, you shot Dan too. It's like no saying that go back way back. I just want to shout out to everybody in the chat. I will fix the nail in the title. Yeah, we got PS in the bin, Vegas profile stories. Salute to everybody in the chat. We got
Hmm.
just as many likes as we do people watching this. I appreciate that so much. Hit the like button, like something. I watch documentaries on the A-Dubs. I've recently watched a documentary on the A-Dubs sign someone we know. That official like a red whistle. It doesn't no realer. Any doubting can assure you that I've seen documentaries not on tube, on this TV, on this TV with my
Yeah,
boy VPS up there as an official
yeah,
speaking real cool and collective and careful if you feel about what
yep,
had transpired in the past, of course. But
yeah. Muggsy.
it's official, bro. I've seen it.
Yeah, talking about Muggsy.
I've
This is
heard that name.
a
Yep.
high-ranking A-Dub that was sent to the upper room in the riot versus the Serenos 2 years ago. Uh, and
Rest in peace.
you know what my bros had to say about that from the tip? Hell yeah, bro. At least one of us was able to get into that documentary about him because everybody else was shitting on him. Everybody else was talking shit, and I'm just trying to. He's still human, and he lost his
He
life.
went out like a
Like, come on, bro. You're
warrior.
just
He's
talking.
making
You've never even
Valhalla.
met this dude before, and you're calling him what?
Right.
A dirty piece of shit or something
Right.
like that. Like, come on, bro. If we were in the same booth at or the same building when he was recording and I was recording, and I heard that shit, I'd have
Right.
rode on that cop for that shit right then and there, bro.
Right.
But
And
but
that's
all
another
my
thing that
A-Dub
lets
bros were
me
like,
know you're
good,
official.
they
Yeah.
were like, hell
That's
yeah,
another thing that lets me know you're official because you've been on YouTube so long and nobody problem with it. So it's
yeah,
like you've
not an
obviously
issue.
a blessing. You're very careful. You're strategical. Everything's alleged.
Yeah,
You speak on stuff that happened in the past that's already black and white. That's
yeah,
already done time for.
yeah.
So
Everybody's
obviously
already
they have no
convicted
problem
on
with
usually.
what you're
Yeah.
doing because you're doing it for a while now with you know what it seems like no trouble.
Now, you ain't ever heard somebody from my city just come out and start talking shit about me or say I'm lying or any of that shit. They're just like, Rick's crazy, bro. Like, leave that man alone. Let him do this
Right.
YouTube shit. We
Right.
love you,
Right.
Rick. That kind of stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
like my town,
And
they
when you're a
love it.
soft dude and a stand-up guy, you get to instead of other people controlling your story and your narrative, you get to speak from experience. It comes from the hustler's mouth to speak. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. I, bro, when my life fell apart a few years back and I went back to my old hood's the
Right,
ghetto and it's a trap. My homies are my homeboys. That's it, is what it is.
right.
So I'm chilling in the trap and we're getting high in the back. And one of the top Serenos, I've never met him, but I've heard about him a bunch, and he's heard about me, obviously. But he walks in and he looks at me. I look at him. He goes, "Yo, you're fucking Rick from YouTube." I said, "Yeah." He was like,
Yeah.
and he sits down and he packs his bowl and he hits his bong, right? And he goes, "Fucking Rick from YouTube." Me and him are
Legendaries.
still great friends, bro.
That's awesome. And that goes to show you a little respect goes a long way. When you conduct
Yep.
yourself like a gentleman and you're a stand-up guy, you're a
Yeah.
dude, it sounds crazy again, but you even get respect from the ops sometimes. Sometimes a mutual respect. If you know this man will get
Well,
down and,
well, no,
and
so my entire time in
never
prisons,
told,
just
never fold.
Yeah. My entire time in prison, us and the Southsiders were were brothers basically, bro. There was no issues. That just popped off
Right.
2 years ago. This is before even that popped off, and I was doing a bunch of, like, Nevada Tresse, MRU, Southsider videos, kinda their history, right? And for one of the top Southsiders in Vegas to come walking in like fucking ripped from YouTube after making Southsider videos, bro, that shows right
Right.
there I wouldn't have walked out of there.
Yeah, yeah, I was
So,
gonna say that could have went one, two ways. That could only go one
oh
or two
yeah,
ways.
yeah,
Either you're leaving that room with mutual respect, or you ain't leaving that room at all. One
yeah,
of you ain't leaving.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, we became quick friends. That's my homie right there. But
So I got a
I
question about the West
mhm.
Coast, right? Go ahead, my bad.
No, 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 go ahead.
So from what I understand, and again, I'm up north, on the East Coast, I'm Boston, but from people, what I heard from people from Cali, now this might apply to Nevada, but from what I've heard on the West Coast, at one point at least, I don't know if it's still in at one point I heard that the whites and the Mexicans had some, and the outsiders at least had some sort of alliance, and the blacks,
Mhm.
the
Oh
others,
yeah,
and the Norteños had some, and
it's
only if
ongoing.
shit popped off, like
Mhm.
let's handle business first, we'll get to us later, type shit.
Yeah.
Was that a thing or
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. We were like this, us and the Southsiders, and the
yeah,
Southsiders ran the PISA car. So by proxy, the devices didn't have no problems. Um,
right,
although I mean, sometimes things would happen. Like there was this PISA I call Super PISA gets into a fight with Peanut from the Southsiders, and they got at each other tough, bro, on the yard. Like so that type shit happened. But and we ran with the Southsiders hella tough, and we made bonds. We were on the streets doing business together and hustling together and
right,
eating together, and that's why when this stuff popped off, man, I had more Southsiders calling me than I was getting phone calls from the yard because whoever didn't have a on them couldn't get a hold of us because they shut down all the phones and all the tablets and stuff. So we were just getting information from any dub that had a smoke signal on him.
right.
So
Yeah,
until all that
crazy.
happened, man,
And I
yeah,
heard it wasn't,
Southsiders.
and I heard it wasn't like a always thing, but it more like if shit hits the fan, we're gonna get out the way and deal with this later type shit.
Yeah,
From my understanding, what I've gathered, you
yeah,
know what I mean? And I brought this up on the YouTube podcast very vaguely, and people were like, "We don't know what you're talking about." I'm like, "Man, this is allegedly what I've heard from someone from California on the West Coast told me,
yeah,
hey, man, we were rocking with them,
yeah,
dudes were rocking with dudes, and it was like to a point if riot popped off, we understood where we all
exactly, exactly. And the yard will work itself out. We got the Fed settled down and the street settled down after that riot popped off, and it was a crazy riot for a short amount of time. It was a lot happening. Uh, and so that's the best that we could do. Like I said, I don't want to go too much into it, but Kenny passed away. We were working on it, and he's working the feds. I was working the state, and then he passed away. And it's like, fuck, man. Hopefully, they can figure it all out because I don't want to. I don't want to deal with this.
yeah.
You know.
Because order
Yep.
is important, like routine structure is important because it's like it gets chaotic after. I remember out here when Waddy Bug fell off, it was like a vacuum pop. It was
Hmm.
like everybody wants like who's next in line. It was like war after war. Like everyone was who's next in line to take over. So you had everybody clashing for
Yeah.
territories and neighborhoods and positions. It was almost even you. I heard police they almost rather it when there was some people around because some type of order and control, and people went by certain moral and code of conduct and honor and respect, and no woman, no children, you don't
Yeah.
what
Oh
you
yeah.
eat, and rob from the rob from the rich and to the poor, and
Yeah.
shit like that. Yeah, what sounds crazy, but what's understood don't gotta be discussed. But I've seen it just in a different manner.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for us, the vacuum wasn't we've never really had, anybody I mean, we did have somebody so Rebelwood, rest in peace, Rebel. I did a lot of time with Rebel, and Rebelwood was the leader of the A-dubs for, like, 15 years, and the cops came up with some fake paperwork to give to some outsider that made it into the dubs somehow, Coco, and then the administration moves Rebel to Virginia in the middle of the night to Red Onion. And then they hand that paperwork to Coco, making it look like Rebel had debriefed. And Coco bit right into it. Rebel had left Bean in charge. And this is all stuff that's been charged, convicted in his old cases. So
Right,
Coco goes and sticks Bean and takes the horn, basically is how we say it, not the keys. But and he's and Coco had the A-dubs after that. Well, Coco ends up in a
right.
RICO with Lil Dog and Muggsy and all of them. He set to testify. Guess where they send his ass? Red Onion.
Bad,
Mhm.
bad hit, and it reminds me of the streets. Listen, they pull some grimy stunts, bro. Take you and your
Mhm.
partner in two different rooms, lie their ass off. He's over there telling on you right now, kid. Hey, this dude over is telling on you right, and they'll be lying. And dudes know that they're playing games, so they don't. But if you get yourself an amateur or someone that hit to the shit, they're
Mhm.
gonna fold under pressure, you know.
Oh
But
yeah.
if you never told, never fold, I was lucky enough to get by the game. But my older brothers and fathers, uncles, and they're always like, keep your mouth and ask for a lawyer.
Yeah.
You got the right to remain silent. They tell you that
Yeah.
shit, act as your right. It's always
Yeah.
kind of like put up on game. So I was just lucky. I was smart the way I went about it, and
Yeah.
I was able to stay out of shit. When you're in that life, why I quit while ahead, because it ain't if but when. It's only a matter of time. You're really out there rocking
Yeah.
and rolling. Eventually, you're gonna have to do something.
I mean, look at me,
That's
bro.
just the name of the game. It's the
I
territory.
had
So you've been locked up quite a few times. I was just gonna say,
yeah. Yeah, I have 23 failure to appear, so that's 23 arrests right there alone on failure to appears. So you multiply that probably by I don't know.
damn, your bill must have sky high, kid. Fucking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I
That's
mean,
why
it
I always
depends.
turn myself in because, like, I like thinking of the future. Like, yo, let me get this over with, get it out
Mhm.
the way if that's serious, because I want to get a bill and I want to be considered a flight risk. I'm worried about me and also they're gonna hold me with no bill. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I try to be strategic about shit, but sometimes you just get emotional. Like, fuck this, catch me when you can.
Yeah.
I'm the gingerbread. I'm out of here. Like,
That's me. That was me. I only finished
yeah,
one parole in my life, bro. My last one. I've never finished a probation, a parole. If I'm on bond, I'm running. Bro, I was running for like
yeah,
traffic tickets at one point, bro. I didn't care.
yeah. And we know probation, parole is the setup. How to get you
Yeah.
stuck in the system. It
Oh yeah.
some Everyone I know out here in Boston, like, learn from my father, my brother. They're like, wrap it up. Anytime, just wrap it up. 'Cause if you go out on probation, get you fucking joyriding, smoking weed, or doing the most skill shit, you're gonna back and do your whole. So just wrap. You know what I mean?
That
It's
happened to
basically
me.
up for disaster.
That happened to me. I did like a
Of
year.
course,
I got out for on parole for like 2 weeks, and within that 2 weeks had caught a new case for a stolen car, and I was already doing time and on parole for a stolen car. They took all my stack time, all my good
yes,
time, made me finish my last sentence, and then start this new 4 year sentence. I was like, "God,"
exactly.
and then a year backed up on top of that one. Uh, it was like, "Damn it, bro, come on,"
And that's
but I earned it.
strategical. It's all on purpose. trying to put nails in the coffin, bro. They let him
Mhm.
out, let him to another case. He's gonna do end up twice as amount of time as he would have did if he just
Yep.
stayed instead. And that sounds crazy, but just stay in instead of trouble and wrap up. You out. It's almost like a fresh start if you take advantage of that. It'd be a new beginning. And now I know you're older, you're grown, you're matured, you've been through your shit, you had your up downs. Um, Basically, I all get it like I said, like patient pro, like you have to literally walk on eggshells. You gotta
Yeah.
be real careful because if you violate, you gotta go wrap the time you owe, and then now you're in a new case.
Bro, my last parole, they send you your parole packet like months before, right? Before your parole hearing is coming up. And then I wanted to dump parole because I'd had to do like less than a year to wash out the whole sentence and be done with it, or I was gonna have to do a whole bunch more on parole afterwards, right? And
Right,
so I'm like, nah, I don't want parole. I want to wash my sentence out. I want to expire my number. And man, they didn't even call me on my parole hearing date. Like I'm ready. I got my press on right. Like I'm ready to go face the parole board and just cuss them out, tell them about themselves, bro, and dump this parole. Bro, they didn't even come get me. They gave me parole in absentia. Like I wasn't even in the room. And these fools gave me parole with a high value number, like 30 something points, bro. As a security threat group gang member, validated. These fools gave me parole in absentia with a gang parole officer. And I know what they were doing. They thought they were going to wash me on a third strike,
right.
but it didn't work like that. I just,
Yeah,
I
it's
sat down.
crazy.
I didn't go nowhere.
My Yeah, see, they said my golf was on paper as HOS, the head of security of a high organization, right?
Hmm.
And when he got out, did 40 years, he did 30 and one, whole 10 up in him, and Illinois. They were Guardian and all them during that whole thing. I remember this game. He was actually on the streets, but because he was a verified, you know, quote unquote gang allegedly, um, something had happened on the inside. The hit sent him the VHS tapes, and we know these guys wouldn't move without approval, and they charged with that. While he was on the street, they charged him with shit that went down inside because they couldn't do it without green light,
Yeah.
just without go ahead, without so he actually ended up back just as he came out, he was back in
Yeah.
some shit that he was on the crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it is. They try and just trick you up. They were trying to trick me up into a third strike, and it's not happening, you know? But then I can't even, like I was running and gunning and doing the most back then. So of course I was on their
Right.
radar. Of course they wanted to get me off the streets. That's their job, you know. Mm, and I just sat down. I did that time, but yeah, it was a wild time, bro. It was a wild, wild time. I had to
Yeah.
go and finish my
So
sentence, and parole board wanted to see me then when I came back on a violation. You know, they tased me. It was all
yeah.
bad, bro. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. It got to the point where my godfather was immune to the spray. Like he would tie shirt on his face,
Yeah.
come in, and have to send us the this. They were still sending me chest tapes
Hmm.
every time
Yeah.
squad, like every time the riot squad would run his cell, and they'd be in there deep with shields, the chalkers and the tasers and the mace, the pepper spray. They would, yeah, he'd fight it for him. He'd fight as he could until they took him down, and he would keep mailing us these VHS tapes whenever he would get a shoot. They had him in the. He did like my buddy said two, but I think it was 10 plus years in the. He had like a time in
Mm,
Massachusetts,
that's a grip.
most time shoot.
Yeah.
He actually had a lawsuit against the Massachusetts, cruel and unusual punishment
It
because he would
is.
shoot for so long.
Yeah.
isolated himself. He literally would walk around work blindfolded, read books from back then back front. Like he was doing all types. He learned from language. He learned how to speak Spanish to understand what
Yeah.
other organizations were saying when they're walking around him. He had to just
Yeah.
pick everything because he had to focus his time on some, or he went crazy. He said he
Yeah.
so many people crazy in there
Yeah.
that the shoe, like if he was completely focused working out or in or talk himself or what just to keep him, you gotta be so crazy to prevent yourself from going total insane.
Right. I mean, that's a part of it. That is a part of it too. Like, but if you're going to be a gang member in prison, in a prison gang, and you're going to be putting in work, or you're going to lead the way. Hey, guess what? You're going to the shoe. But for 12 years is insane. That's just a lot. We would play games with them back
Yeah,
there, though. We do it in max. You just withhold the
yeah,
trays. Whenever we're on lockdown and they hit us with the dinner trays, we just hold them in, and then make them suit up, and we play football. If you can get both feet out the door, that's a touchdown. If you can get your head out the door, that's a field goal. And
no
we would
shit.
just do that. Yeah. And they knew what was going on, bro. You'd have your celly lined up, you know, just
Yeah,
just in that football position, and that door would crack and he would launch on them, and you go running up his back or something and try and get over him. Bro, it's
yeah.
fun.
And you catch wreck and at the time I remember my homies would write it like, man, first of all, if it wasn't for your golf, I'd be dead. He looks
Mm.
out for us. We get a table to sit with protect, but motherfuckers always catch a wreck. He would hide over a tray full of water and let the cell back and forth and just extract it out, fucking be able to top it up for a minute. We get lugged and up and shit. And basically anything has the time and a little bit of wreck. Without that cell, if it was for a few, even if it was to get beat up and put up a fight, it was like thing to get out for a little while and keep yourself busy, keep your mind occupied.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Anything. Yeah, we would listen. Yeah, they put in this I don't know what keeps them doing this, but toilets can only flush every half hour because we flood the cells just to get out, just to mess with them.
Yeah,
But in the middle of the night, they would pop the doors on our cells, fire a birdshot round from the shotgun in the bubble into our cells, just skip it into our cell and shut the door. Middle of us sleeping and shit, just
that's crazy.
boom. But we're still the only take out COs, so in Nevada,
Yeah.
it's pretty. We're pretty buck. you know,
How many different prisons did you live in up in Nevada?
just
Like,
two, just two. There aren't that many prisons in Nevada to begin with. There was five.
yeah, I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, there were
Okay.
there were there was NNCC, well, Nevada State Prison, Ely, uh, um, Lovelock, which is like a PC prison, and then High Desert and Southern Desert. So however many that is, what, six? And being from Vegas, I just hit those southern yards. And high desert
Oh,
happens to be the max for Nevada, and it's a wild, wild joint.
that ask was that worse than the other one or
Yeah, so you could throw a rock from high desert's yard and hit southern desert's yard or Indian Springs' yard. They're like
yeah.
they're both on Creek Road. Look that up on the
Oh,
map.
they're
You'll
neighbors.
see. Yeah, Cold Creek Road.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
So
it's right off the
what was
95. Yeah.
like so let's rewind a little bit when you touched down when you got in prison. Was a little bit of shell shock? Like was it crazy or acclimate right away? Did you get
Well,
adjusted?
I'd gone when I was
Did you
young.
adapt?
I'd gone when I was young. For the 7 months or whatever. So I kind of already had my prison etiquette, taught to me
Okay.
early. Uh, and then so now I'm in prison, but I go to High Desert, right? And High Desert it was run weird back then. You come out of the fish tank, they put you in level 4 in max, and leave you there for like 30 to 90 days and then move you off to whatever minimum or medium security or whatever camp, stuff like that, right? But I got in trouble right away, and I had Rebel and Benny and all these dudes, and so they kept me and kept me and kept me. I was in max just getting hit, right? For all kind of just a slew of shit went on. And
Right.
and that's when I started to get picked up by Kenny, who, you know, was the horn holder. And yeah, bro, it just went from there. Then I got security threat group on that rip. I was out for 2 weeks.
Oh, so it's over. Validated.
Hmm. Yeah,
Once you're it's once you got that step on you, it's no taking it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Uh, well, yeah, yeah, and you still try to fight it because we try to be slick with our tattoos. Now they know, like they know what this tattoo. Well, can't really see it, but
Right.
a Viking with
I was gonna
horns
ask
on.
that if you got any tattoos in there.
Yeah. So we're into the Asa True, which is like the Odinist, right?
Nism, the Vikings.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's why I said your
yeah,
home. He went out like he's in Valhalla, like
exactly,
in drinking
exactly.
and that all
It's a lot
over.
like your crazy white boys. It's a lot
C
like that.
dubs.
Yeah. Where we're classified as a skin tip, but and we segregate. We have our own showers and tables and sides of the yard and phones and everything, right? Uh, but like we're not just out there running that skin program like madmen. You know what I'm saying? We're more into the odiness. And so if you have horns on your helmet, it's because you're in a leadership role, right? But there's no like you can have bolts, but you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like bolts ain't a thing.
Right.
For us, like we got other symbology behind our stuff,
Right.
and you have tattoos that say you're a gang member, and back then they already knew, so they got me anyway. I still wouldn't. I was like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just a wood. They're like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
security threat group.
Yeah. And there's different who's going on, and you know what I mean. Like, people like that's some people eat. Yeah, that's their drawing people and gift cards, home to yo drop some my old lady, and we
Oh
get this
yeah,
tattoo, but you could only
yeah,
get tattooed by your own people, right?
yes, yeah, or the
Okay.
Southern Mexicans, the Southsiders, Sureños. Uh,
Okay.
like it depends on who had the good tattoo artist and the good tattoo gun in the unit. Like sometimes some units
Yeah.
I've been in where you know one of the dubs is just slinging the best ink, and all the Mexicans want to jump in there and get theirs done too, and bring your own needle and bring what I'm saying, all that.
Right.
But other than that, yeah, come on, and vice versa. If there's a Southsider in there
Yeah.
slinging sick ass ink, chances are you're going to see a Wood or a Dub in there getting slung back. So,
Now they do tattoos that were official, like tied to an organization, or could only do certain tattoos. Like, could a Mexican put
oh,
like
no,
a
no,
Viking
no, no,
tattoo on an AW?
no,
Oh,
no, no, and
okay.
they wouldn't want to. It'd be like us tattooing a 13 on a Sereno. It would be like that's out of bounds. Yeah, no,
Right. Well, that's
yeah,
so yeah,
A Dub's got to do
certain.
it.
So you're with boundaries,
Yeah,
respectful. Oh, I get it.
yeah,
That's what I get. You know what I mean?
that's the way it should
And
be.
plus, got to
Yeah,
be certified. Right.
yeah. Or if you got a good wood tattooing, you can get your political ink from that
Right.
good wood. As long as it's all, you don't
Stand up.
want
Good
to just,
standing.
yeah. You could have a new fresh celly, and that fool was just good with it. It didn't even know. It's just a
Right.
savant with that tattoo machine.
Night. Yeah.
Bro, you're getting slung back. You got one of them
I
cellies. That's every dude that's
Yeah.
I mean, covered, bro. You know what that means? That
Yeah.
means their celly was slinging that ink, and he
It's
was
so
bored
aching.
and sitting
Yeah.
back there and just getting off on that fool, whole body just blasted.
Yeah.
That don't mean he's tough. That don't mean he earned all them tattoos. Hell of times I see motherfuckers, they're just normal woods getting just entire sleeves done and shit, bro.
Passing the time.
Yeah. Yeah, just a bunch of skulls and clocks and crows, just where the clock is set, that's gonna mean something,
Right.
you know?
Of course, the numbers, everything correlates, and pay
Hey,
attention until
that's like A-Dub.
it's by
A-Dub's
mistake.
yeah, A-Dub's
Very
123.
strategic.
So you
Right.
can imagine the clock's probably set at 123 if you got a clock,
Right.
shit like that. But that's all old.
Yeah,
They
that
they're on to some new schemes with their tattoos now, bro. So I'm good for them, bro. I'm trying not to ever go back to a Nevada prison.
yeah,
So
or prison. Oh, he's trying to
yeah, prison
that
at
cat
all
the
for
life,
sure.
but
Yeah,
right, yeah, definitely. But you can never say never,
yeah,
but we could hope, pray. I always say, hope best prepare for first. Sometimes you gotta prepare for best too. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, definitely. And I'm too known in Vegas on the streets and by the cops, and I'm sure the gang unit sees that I'm flying in or something, and they're just at the airport waiting to follow my ass. So
Right.
I don't really. I go back to Vegas, and it's a in and out. I'm not staying here too long. I already know how this is gonna go. Just got
Yeah.
that
I
done.
know how this
Just walked
movie
off that
ends. Yeah.
ship, you know?
Yeah.
So
So
I'm cool.
up here, you keep it real scarce. I usually bring up the female CEOs. Now, I do respect people married and stuff like that. So I don't know, if you was married while you was been doing your time, I'll respectfully, conduct
Mhm.
my questions in a certain manner. So I would ask you particular, have you seen other people get down CEOs or be able to finesse a CEO or anything like that? Female CEO?
Listen, that's your job.
Let's talk about it, bro.
That's your
It's a
job.
scandalous world.
Listen, that
Right.
is your job. You better finesse it. Hey, girl, damn, did you get your hair cut? Look at you. Are you wearing a different shade of makeup? Like,
Yeah.
hey, just damn, just hitting
Some
it,
of them
right?
love attention. They might be getting it at
Hey,
home. They
they
might
could
be
look
married for 30 years.
mhm,
They
they could
come
look
in
like
getting all the attention.
goblins.
Somebody that had got something in a while, they're like, "We-" so as
Hey,
far as
some
that
of yeah,
people think.
yeah, and some of them look like goblins, bro, and you get on her too. "Hey, girl, look at how you swinging that," right? Just any of that,
Yeah, well, when you look
because
at men
you're
all day, nothing
trying.
but men around.
Well, it's
Yeah,
not on some sexual shit.
even and
It's
even that, you might just
mm-mm,
need something, want
it's
some.
on some finesse shit. I'm trying to turn you to the dark side over here, girl. Bring me that phone.
Right.
Bring me that dope.
Yeah.
Like, come on. And then once you do it
It's like
once,
the
that's it. We
smallest.
got you.
Once you got 'em,
You
you
want
got
me
them.
to
You got
call your boss? You want me to
rap.
tell them what you brought
It's
me? Oh man, you better
it's a
just take
like
this money.
Reynolds. Once you get a
Mhm.
little tobacco, that could turn into this, that, the or whatever. You
Mhm.
never know.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah. Hey, look, if you could pull a cop onto your team, do that. And when you're in prison, do that. Or a nurse or outside staff or counselor. Man, the lady from the food drive, who cares? If you can
Yep.
get somebody like that on your team, like that's the name of the game. It's us against them. It's cops and robbers, right?
Yep. Because I
Now,
remember hearing
mm,
stories. My godfather was alleged that he had allegedly the nurse, and it's just like once you get that, it's I'm getting called. Like, who's it? Like, shit, I haven't talked in years. Like, what's up? Like, how call me from a phone right now? What the fuck? He's passed away.
uh-huh.
Rest in peace. But this is all
Yeah.
long time ago.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
it's like I've heard stories. I was like, oh, like end of attention. Like if they're not getting that recognition home, and
Oh
you got
yeah.
these. young bucks in there that has haven't seen a female or haven't gone to female in a while. They're
Oh
like gonna
yeah.
do everything,
Oh
anything, and say
yeah.
anything to
So
get you
yeah.
going.
Yeah, just try and get her to smile at them. Like people take
That's
that for
it.
granted. Other than my children, because don't get it twisted, they're the only people I ever miss when I'm in prison, right?
Right.
Or when I was. Uh,
Of course.
you don't really miss much else on the outside, you know? So
Of course.
in prison, nobody's gonna hug you. Nobody's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't touch
Right.
nobody. You don't get any kind of physical contact other than a just a boom, right?
Right.
Uh, that shit you miss. So the first time you get out of prison after doing even say like a year and a half, 2 years, something like that, man, you're gonna miss that shit. And nobody really,
Of course.
you know, and it's different.
Why? That's why uh, isolation is it's really like cruel, unusual because human beings we're social creatures, we're tribal individuals, like we're
Hmm.
tribals, like we're so used. What they takes it takes a village. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? We're so used to
yeah,
being around our family, our friends, just being around people in general, having that support system, and this like if you don't have a or an organization or family like functioning, still lines you don't cross, right? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like wrestling around and certain things, stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that. That
yeah,
you can't get into a beef with your buddies in front of other people because it's a look and make sure all week.
yeah.
So there's so many rules and regulations that you have to abide by that getting that kind of if you will, you know what
I'm trying not to read the comments, but somebody in the comments said, "Flake." Never mind. Not even gonna say his name. Never mind. They said that's
I
gonna
mean?
get clipped. You trying to pull a cop on your team? Hell yeah, bro. Like that's convict. That is, if you're in prison and no dudes are trying to hit on the female staff or pull the female staff and onto the team, like, come on, bro. What are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Lames. That's why y'all ain't got
Yeah.
PSPs and Game Boys and shit, bro. you
And
know?
if no one to holler, you probably already to someone else. But someone's still, other than someone really not trying to stab anyone's toe. That's the only situation I would imagine
Yeah.
that they like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, what are we doing?
Right.
You
Yeah.
swing,
Like,
you take a swing every time. You
oh,
miss every shit don't take.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If you can, I- you have such limited resource in prison. If you can get a little bit of resource or power coming from the outside, like I had a cellie, this youngster he was built, bro. All he did was work out. And Junior, this young, she was thicker, CO. She took a liking to him. And when she was on at night, we would be asleep and we would hear the door pop and a Jack in the Box bag would just come flying in and the door was shut. She was sweet on him. I used to have him, hey bro, you better pull the monster out and you better be posed up when she comes walking by, bro.
Better
Show her
get
what's
that.
up for
Yeah,
her.
better
Cause
yeah.
she wants
The
that, bro.
peacock.
You go shake your little booty for her right now. Cause that jumbo jack is delicious, bro. Delicious. And cold and all, bro. Like, yeah. Plus, it's like this. Like like we don't allow all that gunning and sniping or whatever they
Right.
call it. Like you're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But the female COs, 9 out of 10 of them in the Nevada system, at least, I can speak on that. Bro, they're watching you in the shower. You just catch them just staring at you in the shower and shit. Like, damn, So these women are wild, and they don't really get paid much, but some of them are vicious. I had one that hated my guts. She wrote me up for everything. She wrote me up for having a clothesline one time, bro. In Max. In Max.
That's
Bro.
crazy.
I was like, damn. Did I steal her neighbor's car or something? Like, why is this lady hating me like this? But she
With
was
the
working for
window, yeah.
Reb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come to find
She ended
out,
up
it's always something.
she ended up getting fired. I'm glad. Fuck you, Lorenz was her name, yeah. Uh, man, I'm glad. She popped the door so Rebel could get
Get you a
somebody on a
mess.
movement.
Oh,
Got herself fired. Reb had pulled her to the team. I don't know. Maybe she was trying to just keep me just under barrage to show that she's not like just picking on one race or the other. And I just happen to be the one that could
right,
take it the best. Like, whatever, lady. I don't care. I'm not leaving here anyway. This is my unit that I'm going to be in until you move me to a different max unit to try and they would
right,
shuffle us like a shell game.
right.
But yeah, bro, if you could pull a chick,
So you seen it all, and you seen it all. We don't want to get too crazy. We
yeah,
don't want to get scandalous on.
yeah,
But I heard some stories. These female CEOs, and it isn't always gonna be CEO, like you said, be a counselor, a nurse. So
hmm
any female attendant, you're around guys all day, 24.
just a smile.
Yeah, yo, the smile, give an inch, we're gonna
And
take a smile. Like,
yeah, and like
no, go.
it hits you in your emotions. You know what I'm saying? You ain't seen really anybody smile. If you have, it's because somebody cracked a funky, just a ridiculous joke or something, right? Other than that, like nobody smiles, man. So when you got, say, there's a nurse and you crack a joke and she kind of smiles, bro, it like it hits you in your heart. You're just like, damn, you feel an emotion that you
Yeah,
don't get to feel very much, if ever, in
yeah,
prison, in max. So
yeah. Because looking on 24/7, tension is always there. And like this, like I live such a crazy life coming from growing up projects and poor and poor my whole life. I always say like I like to watch comedy movies, stand up comedy, and whenever I have a chance to laugh or smile, I don't take it for granted. I appreciate it because I've been through such horrific tragedies. Whenever I get a chance to laugh or smile, I'm gonna
yeah,
fully embrace it because I've been through
yeah,
pain where I
yeah,
just enjoy this a little bit
that's
of it.
it.
Whether we're cracking jokes and we're laughing, we're just shooting it, catch like whatever it may be, for sure. You know what I mean? And you live, laugh, and love sometimes. Respect.
If look, besides my friends, like somebody that I would actually go on their channel with, because that's the only people I really mess with on YouTube. I don't really you'll never see me on a bigger YouTuber's channel. I don't do all that. I just made my own name. I made my friends, and I'm
Yep.
loyal to my friends on YouTube. That's me and you, a couple of other people, right?
Res-
But you know, I besides you guys, everything is a comedian or anything from just animals doing crazy stuff, funny
Yeah.
stuff though. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
always trying to laugh. Or you
Yeah.
mad or something like that they're cracking these jokes and everybody's laughing because like I've seen all the chaos, I've seen all the death and the destruction, and I've been a part of all of it, right? Like
Right.
that's not where it's at emotionally. I'll just get hard, be hard. Like I know who I am. I prove it and I prove it over
Right.
again and over again and over again. I'm one of the only YouTubers that was probably arrested in the last couple of years for some serious shit, bro. Uh, you
If
know,
you're secure, you who you are and secure with yourself, you ain't on here for validation. You ain't
yeah.
for
I just want to
acceptance. You know who you
laugh.
are. You're comfortable in your own. So you just do you and
Yeah.
like I do my algorithm. If I ain't watching MMA or boxing, watching dogs, pit and those and stoicism
Yeah.
quotes and motivational quotes.
Yeah.
If I'm watching that, I train my algorithm. If I'm not watching that, I'm watching comedy 24/7. Like that's gonna put a smile on your face. It's contagious. Just like negativity is contagious, positivity. You could gonna crack a
Everything.
smile. it spreads
Every
like,
yeah,
the butterfly effect. Like it's very important to keep that positive energy. You know what I
it
mean?
is.
In a place like that, you have so little of it. Every is mandatory. You gotta be old time 24/7. You gotta be on your toes, alert, hyper aware,
Mhm.
you're surrounded,
Right.
everything going on. It's very to lack or to relax.
Yeah.
You want to get caught in some slack.
Well, I'm militant in my life, and that doesn't mean nobody can get touched. Anybody can get touched. Hell, president almost got touched a couple days ago. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
say it all the time. One's untouchable.
yeah. So it's not so much that. It's just, man, I don't know. I've 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 had a lot of pain, and in the last couple of years, I've had a whole lot of pain. Like my childhood, to where I look at my childhood like it was a good time. You know what I'm saying? So I know what it is to hurt. I know what it is to be angry, and I know how expensive hate is. So I don't want to pay that toll no more. So I try to do things, only talk to people or deal with people or watch anything on TV or I watch the news for what's going on in the world, but other than that, like I even stay away from that most of the time. I watch stuff to make me laugh, bro,
Us-
because I know how
Usually
to
nothing bad
cry.
news. They ain't none of the good. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I say the same, bro. That's a great point that you just made. Completely agree to. And like times in my life, and through so much trauma, so much pain. It's like if I ain't laughing, I'm gonna be crying. Like you mean like I've been through so much tragedy and chaos that it's like I only surround myself with people that are doing good and trying to better themselves. I'm just trying to be a better man. I try to
yeah,
be better than anybody else. I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday,
that's it.
a week ago, a month ago, a year ago. I'm just trying to be better than me for me so I can
Yeah,
take care of people I love around me. You mean?
yeah, and I learned through all this, you ain't got to prove yourself to nobody, especially here on YouTube. Like my town, I don't need to tell anybody I'm solid or not. My town knows. When my life falls
Right.
apart, I go straight back to my neighborhood. Like everybody who knows me knows that I'm the most solid, loyal person out there. So I've learned to not really worry so much about what people say. Now, if they're doing it in a dangerous way, like some of
Right.
these trolls take it too far, man. I had
Oh
them
shit.
call my ex-wife's hospital on a bomb threat or something, get it shut down. Uh,
That's crazy.
and for what? Because you thought
Yeah.
that I was too chummy with another YouTuber that you were going after and didn't like that's you just tried to ruin, and you committed a federal crime doing it and got yourselves all caught up in that. Like for what, bro? For what?
Yeah.
So I just say, man, I don't need none of that because I know where
Yeah.
it
You
ended
too
up for me.
crazy. Yeah. And like I said, yo, you got thick skin to do YouTube, not just to do it to last and be successful. You got thick
Yeah,
skin, but at the same time, like ain't the streets, prison, we're still gonna conduct ourselves with morals, integrity, and principles. I'm still gonna be, you know what I mean? At
that's
the end
it.
of the day, I'm not gonna, you know, try to be anybody want me to be. I could only be me and see
Yeah,
through that shit. Transparent when they're trying to
yeah,
portray something or act like something, people see through it. So the thing to do is be honest, be authentic, be genuine, sincere, and it will work favor.
yeah. Well, my problem is like I was all over the US just driving around. So I was like showing up in people's towns fucking on one, bro.
Right,
And there were guys like me on, like don't take it so far that I'm gonna come look you up, right? Like
right,
that's all I care about. I just want to keep it. Trolls are gonna troll. Let them. I just want to keep it to where
yeah,
you just troll me because if you start going the wrong way
yeah,
with it, I reputation for show. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not you won't even see me coming. And so I
yeah,
just I, like. Like the ones that actively go at me and stuff, I block them. I don't go on their channel and look at nothing they're doing. If somebody sends me
Yeah.
something, I don't really mess with it. I don't even want to see it because if I don't see it and I don't know about it, that's better for me
Yeah, you add fuel to the fire, kind of all that shit, you know what I mean?
because I'll crash out.
I understand. Yeah, yeah, cause listen, come on here and say what you want about me, or like, I'm
Yeah.
sure you agree, and you would say the same
Well,
thing.
now
But
they
what you got
yeah.
involved with those families, women, and children, that's a no. That's a no go.
Yeah, now
I
well, now
mean,
they've
it's
already
just
doxed my children, so, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So now it's what are you gonna do now? It's already been done, you know? Nobody's
right.
coming to see me. Nobody's showing up. Nobody's doing any of that. And if they do, I mean, there's stories all over YouTube, people running their mouth about nights that somebody showed up looking for something with me,
Yeah,
or ducking at work or something like that
and
because
it
you
and
know,
it comes all the back to treat people you want to be treated. If it's something you want done to yourself,
I
don't
don't
try
do
to
that
do
to
it
anybody.
to people.
Yeah,
Exactly,
and I never would.
exactly, and so exactly, and not to take that higher that that route and be be the person for lack of a
Yeah.
better term, because it's like when people doing shit, you almost want to. It's like I still stay true to who I am. If I don't believe in that, I'm not gonna go do it as you did it. But karma's a fucker. Karma's a bitch, and that will bite you. Actually, one way or
Well,
another, it's gonna come around. You know what I mean? Sometimes you
it's
just
like
gotta sit
this.
back and let it play out.
There's consequences. There's consequences. Uh, I can almost guarantee you that with the amount of people that we know that have been involved in all that community going after each other and threatening each other and showing up in each other's cities and all of that, right? Uh, that whole community is being looked at by the feds because they all call the feds on each
Of
other
course,
at that point, and
of
or at this point.
course.
Well, not all of them, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got
So
the
far,
youth,
we've
just
seen a
like you got
major amount of
the
them.
hip police, just like you got the hip
Yeah,
police. You
it's
got the
going to end in
YouTube. So you
indictment.
best believe. Yeah, everything. Yeah, we always, kind of joked about it, passing the YouTube's podcast. Was like, we're gonna some Rico's take on YouTube because people out here just talking crazy, act
Yes.
crazy. And it's like, if you think them boys watching, you're bugging. Like, just
Yeah.
like you have pop police, you the YouTube police. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Social media in
Well,
general.
yeah. Like there are federal agents, I'm sure, that have been involved. Like I'm not going to say any names, but there are creators that are going after each other and doing the most awful stuff, calling each other's jobs, getting each other fired, calling CPS on kids, swatting each other, all
Crazy.
this crazy stuff, right? And these are people that we have met along the way in YouTube, me and you. And it's like, y'all don't think the feds are just taking notes every time one of you calls on the other one, but they got all this on you too. So they're
Yeah.
just gonna take your info and bro, you're all going down in the dumbest indictment of all time. I'm trying to stay the hell out of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And just because it happened right away, that means because listen, the feds come when they don't miss. They'll build
Oh
and
no,
build,
yeah.
stay
Forever.
patient,
Yeah.
take their time. Build a bulletproof case. Listen, we all know statistic
Mm-hmm.
conviction rate through the roof. It's like 90
98,
something
90,
percent,
98, I think.
98. I wanted to say. So when they it's what they'll sit back years and get intelligence information. You know what I mean? But I don't go down that rabbit too much. But people should be very aware and cautious of what they say, especially on the internet. It's just common
Yeah.
sense to me, you know.
Yeah.
But
So
I definitely do, on a few things. We get out of here. I do think we should do a two, maybe even a three,
yeah,
because we been scratched the
I'm down.
surface.
I'm
But
down in the next couple days.
we'll
I don't
talk
care.
about yeah, talk about the prison a little bit. But I did want to get into everybody know what you now because I seen page grow. I
Yeah.
see you you went from Vegas prison stories to Vegas profile stories. You started doing like your content. It took off, doing crazy. Congratulations
Yeah.
and all your
Thank you.
sets. It's awesome. I see you doing big things, and that's the thing. People see you do good, not better than them. So jealousy and envy is an ugly
It really
thing, and
is.
usually that's it comes with it. Sorry, unfortunately.
How many times, and like not to try and say that I'm doing anything special, but how many times have I given you little tips on YouTube that are actually going
Right.
to make a huge difference for your channel? Like, why
Many.
wouldn't you want to have a friend
Yeah,
like that? Why you gonna come at me sideways and just act a fool? Like, you're not
of
that dude.
course.
We all know you're not that dude.
Yeah.
Stop. Like,
Yeah,
stop
people, yeah,
making yourself look
collaboration.
stupid. Yeah.
I always say this, collaboration over competition. The more you could collaborate instead of
Yeah.
compete, the more
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
you out of there's enough room for everyone to eat, enough room
Yeah.
for everyone to get in where they fit, you know. There's enough to ground. I'm more of like the person that want to collaborate than compete. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
I
There's
think it's
there's
mutual benefit. Truly benefit.
there's so many people that want to be haters. You remember Flacco, the Norteño Flacco? You know who gave me the little tip that I gave you a few weeks back on how you can quadruple your YouTube money in one day, one night?
Right.
Flacco's the one who told me that. And it was just on some, hey, just so you know, nobody even told me this when I got monetized. And I had just gotten monetized. He's like, do this. And
Right.
if you do this simple thing, you'll make 5 times the money on YouTube that you're making right now. And instantly I was hitting thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah. You always been very helpful and supportive and even and stuff like without me even to ask you did it,
Yeah.
recognize, bro. Misunderstood, don't be discussed. At first,
Yeah.
I'm not monetized yet. I'm just
But
doing
you
this
will
because I like
be.
to do it. You know what I mean?
You will be. I'll make
Any
sure of it, bro. I
comes with
make
just me.
$500
Yeah, yeah.
raffles for my homeboys
I'm
to
gonna
get.
get there. You know, but
Mhm.
everything that comes, I just consider like a cherry top. I do this as I like to do. Eventually,
Yeah.
I get paid, doing the YouTube streets and you get paid doing what you like. You never work in your life, even behind
That's
the
it.
scenes. Might not
Yeah.
know of how work does into this, but if you enjoy what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life.
Right.
Remember when I first started YouTube, I was doing the YouTube Streets podcast, and Big Luke was like, "Man, I'll tell you everything not to do," and Jay Wills was like, "I'll tell you everything to do." Both kind of like get a little bit of
And
game,
that's what you
you
need.
know, what not to do, and told me
Right.
what to do. Salute for
Hey,
that because he's trying to look out, make
he
sure I do
he
the
helped
same
me.
mistake. So
Jay Williams helped
yeah,
me. Like, everybody forgets we were
yeah,
all friends. Like, I don't even just it's just I didn't like one situation that happened with Jay. And I probably don't have all the information
right,
I should on that, but I do know what I was seeing, and it rubbed me wrong on one incident. I never made a video trying to dog on him or none of that.
right,
Like Jay's always been cool to me. Jay uh, helped me with tips and tricks, just like Flacco did back in
and
the
that
day. And he didn't even,
pay attention to.
yeah,
Because look at when he got locked up, seen people making videos, kicking him while down, and people kind of just their distance. Some people like made videos, kind of going after him, having back. I kind of stayed out of this and
hey,
kind of minded business. I'm great in my
hey,
business.
I'll tell
Suggest
you the
people do the same thing
whole
all the time.
story on Flacco getting arrested, bro. I was in touch with him when all that was going down. Hmm.
Crazy
Yeah, bro, it's real crazy. Flacco was out there making moves, bro. But we'll talk
and
about that.
grooving.
And I ain't never talked
Yeah,
about
we'll
that
get
on the
back
internet, bro.
another
I'll give
time.
that exclusively to you.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna have to tap into that. But yeah, before we get here, let's talk. Let me just ask. I always like to ask somebody when I'm interviewing, especially with the prison. What's the craziest you've ever seen go down in there? Was just like holy, shit.
The one thing
Like
I
they
was
not make it
involved
out.
in,
This person definitely ain't make it out of this situation.
all right, so there were a couple of those type of incidents. The one that I was involved in that has been put out on the internet that I actively just try and shake on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that happened, it happened. I was never formally charged in it, and I'll never really talk about it after that until, one way or the other, until I'm okay or I'm okay.
Of course,
Uh, I seen an old man throw baby oil and chocolate mixed together in the hot pot on this youngster. that came in trying to he was trying to get hard on the cell on the door. You know what I'm saying? And when the doors popped, the youngster came down there and OG had the baby oil and the I didn't see him actually boom on him, but everybody told me his cellie told me what it was, and it degloved him. Old boy's hand was just bones and tendons and burnt, just nasty, bro. Smelled like burnt hair. Because we were on the same side of that wing though. So like they were like 2 or 3 doors further down from us. So I mean, you get a mirror up if you know something's going on, but if you don't, bro, and it happens, it's crazy. Um, I had a CO pop off rounds from his shotty into the sally port from above. Had a pellet or BB from the bird shot lodged in my head and had to get that taken out. There's all kinds of crazy stuff I've seen up in
So
there. Like I said, they would
that
pop off at us every 3 days, but dude, there was one dude lost an eye that way off of a ricochet from a shotty. Um, I seen Knuckles take Terrible out on the yard from the A Dubs. He said, "F you and your prospect, punk," and that wasn't the thing to say to Knuckles.
I know that is this words you like
Yeah, it
avoiding
was
there,
bad.
and yo, bitch, and a few other ones, just no, automatically time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's man. Hey, I watched the Bloods move on the Crips, and that was in Max towards the end. It was like in like '09 maybe 2010 something like that. Uh, and we had just come back from Chow, and I walk in my door and I turn around. You want to stand at the door until that thing shuts. Just is what it
Yeah,
is. And I see the Bloods, and one of them was a white boy we call Mowgli. Because from the Jungle Book, whatever. It was a clever name somebody had given him. Uh,
right.
the white boy slid into his neighbor's cell while they were still open, and then all the Bloods moved into the Crip cells, and they were just bing, 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 getting it right. And this one of these poor Crips, bro, his jaw was, I mean, and the Mowgli had done it. Mowgli got him. I mean, out to here, bro. It was broke so bad, and they moved the Crips off that unit, like just crazy stuff like that all day long. Uh,
Right.
I've
Now,
seen missed hits in
now I know
line,
the
all types of shit.
no, I know the Blood Crips at that time were really going to war with each other, right?
Hmm.
Before that, were they unified on race, or were they all kind of two separate factors and
Well, so Nevada is
fractions?
we're different. We're different. That's why the Dubs stand for what we do because we're Nevada and we're not going to let Cali or any other outside state come in and take over. The
Take
Sureños and the Nevada Treses are the Southern Mexicans, uh, ones from Nevada, though, Nevada Treses or Nevados, or now they're called Nevada Gangsters, or the Southsiders, Sureños from Cali hoods, right? And the Sureños finally wrestled it from the Nevados in the early 2000s. And then the black cars is Cali and Nevada. You have the Northtown car, uh, which is all of the homegrown black gangs from Northtown, and they ride against the Cali, Nevada, or I mean the Cali black car, which are all their own thing, Crips and Bloods, and then you have the actual gang beefs with the Crips and the Bloods, where it's weird, bro. It's weird when it comes to them, but we started the Black Warriors. We funded the Black Warriors so that, and they became the Northtown car. We helped
we got
build
so
them. We
so
helped build them. The Aryan Warriors did because it was getting too overcrowded with the Black Cali car was just getting to be a real problem, and it was like, all right,
right.
we're gonna end this. You know,
I kind of seen something with my I don't know if it was Virginia. I think it was a different state. I'm sure, but I heard
DMI.
that they had. co-signed by one, and they couldn't get the OK and AB, so from the BG,
Hmm.
kind of how they started first.
Yeah.
It wasn't just white, and then they off into different actions, and
Yeah.
I'm happy someone was tied to them up here real soon. I'm on the YouTube podcast, but to have him come up tell his story, you know who I'm talking. About.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And DMI, we rock tough with DMI. The Dubs too.
Also, they have a
Because
presence in Nevada.
what's that?
They did have a presence in Nevada.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, there's DMIs that have been there. Peni, all they're all good tips for
Yeah,
us. Uh, A Dubs just we've held every yard since the '80s, really.
right.
But we always get along. Like we've had Aryan Circle come through. We've had oh God, who else? God forgives, brothers don't, or yeah, God forgives, brotherhood doesn't, which is snuck a AB member in and he got stuck. When we find AB members, we just happen to just pop off with them. I don't. It just is what
Right.
it is. I don't got nothing
Any
against those
nations,
guys.
dirty white boy,
Oh
dirty white
yeah.
boy, Aryan
Oh yeah.
nation, anything like
DWBs.
that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah yeah. And I mean, there's members from almost every tip. DWBs for sure were there. Unforgiven from Florida started in Nevada. One of their founding members of Unforgiven's out of Nevada.
I remember hearing. I think you might have brought
Mhm.
it in the YouTube.
Yeah,
We were talking about that. I was surprised to hear that
yeah,
the
and,
Unforgiven actually came from.
yeah, and and I mean that's what you want to see on the East Coast if you're a part of that program. You don't want to see young white inmates being preyed on, especially
Demise
the
or taken
soft
into
ones.
right,
Yeah, it's not right. And all you need is enough solid woods to stand up and say you're not going to do this, or if you do this to us or around us, we're going to get you, and believe it and do it.
right.
So it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to live it. uh, if you have
Oh,
never
dude,
fought in a cell, like, listen, it's treacherous. I
no
you
run.
Yeah, I mean, imagine trying to throw a right hook, right? And old boy's head's ducking, and you got that solid bunk right there, right? You gonna keep just as hard as you can, or you gonna
Right.
kinda so now if you land it, you're not landing a full force punch. But
You can
if you
fall
miss, you're gonna
through with
break
it.
your
You can hit that
hand
wall.
on yeah,
Yeah.
on this bunk. Or I've seen some war wounds come from hitting a bunk, bro. I need a bunk one time in the middle of a brawl. And old boy's head moved just in time and my knee hit that bunk, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. I got up in the middle of that brawl and was like, ah, bro. Hey, told him I was good and
Brutal.
everything. I'm like, oh, I'm good, bro. Hey, whole knee swole up, bro, off of the bunk. Right, that bottom bunk, trying to hit him
Yeah.
with that knee,
In a
bro.
minute, it's gonna take a minute to shake that off.
Oh, for me, it was awful, bro. Awful. I was like probably 27 at the time. So, I wasn't young. I mean, I'm young compared to what I am now, but like that shit
Right.
hurt. And that's when you learn
Oh
like
yeah.
fighting in a cell's different, bro. I have pressed a
Yeah.
dude out completely cold, unconscious. He was choking me from behind. I went back onto the bottom bunk, pressed my legs against the top, and pressed all my force of my body down on him and pressed the air out of that fool and put him out before I went out. And that was just training in the cell. That was actually Kenny
Right.
Crumb, who's a solid tough guy. And Kenny, if you tapped
Right.
out, bro, you're not a dub. One of them big A
Right.
dubs, you're in there, you're
One
tough,
of
you're
us is
trying to
passing.
trying to learn.
One of us is going to sleep in this motherfucker. Yeah.
If somebody
Yeah.
listen,
No,
when you're
no tapping
training,
out.
it's real life training. So if I get a rear naked on you, I'm putting you out. Just believe that. You better trust that I'm going to get you back breathing again, I'm gonna give you a sternum rub or something, but you're going out. And if you tap, go press that button.
Yeah.
Okay, you're just not built for this. You gotta be willing
Gotta
to
go out the
die.
shell type.
Hmm.
Right. Gotta go out
Yeah,
the shell.
absolutely.
So other than one two, I know you mentioned there was a little the static between A Dubs and one two. Any other white organizations that you guys did not get along with? Because it seems like there
Hmm.
were several.
Yeah. Well, so it's like this. ONS, or the Outlaw Nazi Skins. One of my best friends in the world is Shay, who is one of the higher ranking ONS guys. I'll die for Shay. I'll go to war for Shay. I'll give my life for that man. Uh, but things have happened between the two tips on the street when it comes to the men running ONS and the men running at the A Dubs. Uh, one of the Dubs was lost to one of the ONS. Another ONS was lost to one of the A Dubs on some street shit. Uh, Real men, and so you never hear me talk about it really. Uh,
Right.
but ONS should be our bros. Like Dano is a dub, and he started out ONS. Soup is a dub, well known dub. Got like four bodies, one of them being a AB member doing life up there. And he was ONS. Like we have, there are ONS members that become dubs, and mm, they've gone to against each other basically. The A dubs pressed on them too hard. One of them was taken out by Muggsy, one of the ONS members. It was just it was, and I'm the one preaching, hey, it shouldn't happen. Then there's the white mafia,
Right. Right.
which is like, how would you explain the white mafia? They're the dubs and ONS that are tired of the dubs or the ONS's bullshit, and
Right.
they started white mafia. Shout out to white mafia too. Fuck it, you know. Uh, so there's a lot of politics that go on, and there are tips. There's INS. There's, like I said, and then you have just random a P9 member, or a SAC member, or something like that.
Right. I heard of P nice. I was gonna ask about sex, soldiers, Aryan culture. I know if they
Yeah,
had
we
any of them in Nevada.
we got love for SAC, bro. Shout out Mike D, Solidwood. You see him and shout out Crazy, who's
Yep.
a A-dub. Uh, so many people have asked me if Crazy's a A-dub, Crazy 225. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely A-dub, So,
So
Sack and Dubs, we get along. They, them boys ain't playing. They got their leader Ricky. Well, he finessed a no good to come out on the shoe, right? To the dog cages, and then got that fool. Like, Ricky ain't playing.
yeah.
Ricky from Sac is a well known
Yeah.
gentleman gangster.
Seems like you guys are deep, and seems like there's a pretty big wood pile in
Yeah.
Nevada.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Uh, the numbers
Because in a
are
lot of places
better.
you hear like the whites have the numbers. In a lot of states, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Um,
Absolutely. It helps. It helps. I couldn't imagine going to somewhere like New York, Rikers Island, where
right.
DVS has done time. Or that's
Right.
treacherous. That's treacherous. And if you got pale skin, it's even more treacherous. You really got to stand up
Yeah.
for it. And Boston, Massachusetts, rather, is one of the few East Coast states. Virginia's got DMI now and stuff like that. They've had them for decades now, but you know what I'm saying? It's hard to see a solid wood tip in a lot of the states on the East Coast
Yeah.
because there just aren't the numbers or
Yeah.
the you need
Yeah.
enough
Like in
solid.
Massachusetts. Yeah. In some states, and some facilities, Massachusetts, the whites are deep in their organizations. Like I said, the Boyles, you got the C Dubs. But if you go to Boston, at the heart of the city, like if you're at Nash Street or something,
Mhm.
Bay. They literally call that brown town. You're outnumbered 20-1. Like
Yeah.
you're definitely the minority.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it switches up real quick.
So in Nevada, the two biggest cities are what? Reno and Vegas, right? And they're both melting pots.
Right.
So, there weren't just like in Boston, there's such a rich history, and there are literally white parts of town. You know what I'm saying? In Vegas, it ain't like that. Like, you don't
Yeah.
know who's moving in the house down the street. You don't know who's in the apartment across the way when you get an apartment.
Right.
It's like the ninth island for Hawaii. So you got Polynesians, you got Asians, you got black, white, Mexican, you got California Mexican, you got Nevada Mexicans, and the same with the whites.
Yeah.
And so, we all tend to know who each other are from if
Yeah.
you're doing anything
Who's
crazy
who and
out there,
what?
and we just steer
Yeah,
clear
you
of each
gotta
other,
know
really.
who and what's what. You
Yeah,
gotta know who and what's what.
yeah,
And you get out here in Boston one reason because you got your oldness, right? So like the then East Boston, that's all Italian. Revere, it's all Italian. They got Charlestown, Somerville, and Southeast Boston, that's all Irish.
yeah,
If you go up there, be some old times, like some old dudes doing life, and they'll sure you're not as soon as they ain't having for a minute. So like
yeah,
I was always lucky to have the brothers I have, the family I have, all of my uncles, my father, just the name in general, where it's like, hey, even if just a week or like, get bit or something little or something light, get arrested for driving suspended license or
yeah,
distribution of marijuana or something light. It's like, yo, this is so's godson good. This
yeah.
is
That would be
this is
cool, but
Shamrock and is good. Here's what you need, blah blah blah. But I've seen other dudes that, you know, they couldn't fight their way out of a web paper bag, but they weren't victimized because old timers they just aren't having it. It's a
yeah,
no go.
yeah,
Just they do not put that. The life, the old Italian, the old Irish guys,
yeah.
they not having that for a minute.
Right,
Not racial,
right.
they're not racist. They're just looking to see anyone be victimized that really stand up for
Yeah.
themselves. They want to see you
Oh
stand for
yeah,
yourself, and they'll even stand up for you even more if
yeah,
you do stand up for yourself. Either way, don't want to see people picking on weak. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Just frowned upon.
Well, it's like this in Vegas. Uh, I grew up in one of the neighborhoods I grew up in was a white fence, which is a Mexican uh,
Yeah,
clique out of clique. They're one of the bigger gangs out of
yeah.
Southern California, right? Got all
I
their
heard a white fan.
Trippy is my
I
dude,
think
all that.
G-Face claiming that
Hmm.
at one point.
Huh?
And then he stuffed that dude G-Face or whatever his name is.
Oh,
He used to be white fence, then
was white
switched
fence?
up and
Yeah.
was then
So
he was claiming I think Surrey's after.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's white fence. They run with the Sereno. Sereno's just a 13. That's the Tresse. Uh,
yeah,
so anyway, and then the neighborhood, like with A Train and all them, uh, which is where I was really getting into a lot of activity, was uh was mostly white. But there was this black kid, and his mother had moved him into our neighborhood, which was like a lower middle class neighborhood anyway, at least to me. It was an okay neighborhood, but dangerous. Still had shot spotters and stuff up in the on the lights and stuff. Uh, so in moves this black kid, and we called him Little Man. And they moved from Donna Street, which is one of the bigger Crip neighborhoods in all of Vegas. Donna Street Crips. Little Man was like 13, and one day we're like playing basketball or something at the park. And Little Man shows up, plays basketball. We're all walking back to the neighborhood, uh, and somebody had said something slick to Little Man, called him a neighbor. Bro, we beat the bark off of these fools because you ain't gonna call him that. We might call him that, messing with him, but
right,
you ain't gonna call him that, bro. And that's how
right,
the bond grew between uh, like a woods in my area and Donna Street, because Donna Street heard that we had taken up for Little Man, whose brother we come to find out was running the Donna Street Crips at the time. So they're like, if you need anything, you know what I'm saying? So we just stood up on you ain't gonna pick on our youngster. We don't give a shit,
Right.
right? And Vegas is like that. Like people, all creeds, colors, races from everywhere move to Vegas, and they just move into your neighborhood. So you ain't got that where you can just call this a Italian neighborhood or a white neighborhood. There is little China, I guess, a little part of Vegas where the Asians really huddle, but other than that, there
We
ain't no
have a Chinatown
Chinatown.
out here too.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have Chinatown out. It's, that's why you every time I go get my works and shit when I was young back in the day, it's like that was the spot. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
And all you had to do was know one or two and you're good. Like in my neighborhood I grew up in, there's the Asians and Canadians and Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, there's Italian. Like it's a melting
yeah,
pot. More about where you're from. Yeah. Just if I knew a few Asian, go down to Chinatown, get that firework out there and stuff, and you're
yeah,
good. You just know how to move. You know,
yeah.
conduct yourself, gentlemen. Yeah,
Listen, I took I took my family into Cabo, wheeling and dealing at the street market, and they're like, Jesus, I'm over
yeah,
here just getting off with these. And usually you're gonna find like a Southsider or Sereno that's been deported. You know what I'm saying? You see that
right.
prison ink, bro, he's out there hustling. Yeah, here, come on. And I'm over there wheeling and dealing with them. And my family's like, what the hell? They're scared, right? Or the elote guy.
Yeah,
I'm hitting up the elote guy. Yeah, I want four of them, right? They're like, no, no, just try this. You don't know nothing about this.
yeah,
Try this, right? And now, like, my ex-wife is addicted to elote because of me.
yeah.
Stuff like
Yeah, the
that.
food
Like,
out here is
you just
crazy.
know how to move. You know how to move in the hood, and you feel
Just didn't know
almost
how
more
to move.
comfortable in the hood.
Yeah, that's how I am. Like you, first of all, used to call Chinatown. That area was combat zone. That's where people goes. Like it was a lot of prostitution and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah,
But it's not good on how to move, conduct yourself as a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
carry yourself a certain way.
yeah, yeah. And it's mind your own business. Don't say
That's
anything
the
you
big
shouldn't.
spot.
Don't
Yeah,
let nobody walk over you. Like it's normal stuff. But a lot of people need to, I don't know, spend a year in the hood.
practice with preach.
Yeah, just spend a year in the
Yeah,
hood.
yeah,
Go watch Belly.
facts. Yeah, watch Bronx.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
fell
Go watch
something.
Bronx Tale. Yeah,
You know what I mean? You know,
yeah,
you got like out here. They got Black Mass, The Departed Town. There's movies that really capture the essence of Massachusetts. You mean, but
Departed
Bad
is
Zone was
dope.
crazy back in the day. Yeah,
Hey,
the part of crazy, and they Jack Nicholson's character was based on white culture, but blacks was a more accurate picture.
hey, I don't know how much you can talk about it, but boy, when they got Whitey, they got his ass, huh? Old man in a
Yeah,
wheelchair
it
didn't
was.
even care. Took that eyeball and everything, bro. They did not care.
Yeah, they're taking them. Here's the thing. It was without it to it too. It's a clean their own mess type thing. People make sure that and people cleaned up mess. It couldn't be else
Oh yeah,
that did that.
yeah,
If you get into it, and my buddy go allegedly they all did. This is on black and white.
yeah,
This is all on paper. Is what it is. It was like they couldn't let no one else take him out. It had to be some white dude from Massachusetts,
yeah.
some Irish Italian dude from
We
Boston
feel
area
that.
to do that. No matter where
Yeah.
Virginia, no where he ended up opening to his own people and they clean up their own. You know what I mean? Without
Oh
into it
yeah.
too much, but
That's
that
that's
saved a
that's a good
lot of
way.
people's
Yeah,
reputation and lively because it had a stain on him for a long time. So if
yeah,
mess wasn't cleaned up, certain people it look bad for a long time. You know?
yeah. Not many times that you'll see the boss rolling on everybody. Like I think twice that I've seen it really, and it happened with Coco and the A Dubs, I guess. But uh, well, I don't guess it happened, but in Philadelphia and in Boston with Whitey Bulger, you know, where you
Yeah.
got like the kingpin rolling. Or in Detroit, it happened too, right? Frank Lucas or whatever. Was it Frank Lucas or
Oh, that's
something?
out of New York, and they had he bumped
Okay, it
up and
wasn't
you had
Frank Lucas then.
it
Who was
weird.
that Detroit? Who was that Detroit Wild Man? Was that on Larry?
Oh,
Larry Hoover, maybe? Nah, he
so
didn't roll, did he?
my tongue.
I don't know.
It's a. I'm not too much of them
Man, I
politics.
think
I
Denzel played
like
him. Denzel played this fool in the
Denzel played
movie.
Lucas.
Did
That
he?
he was Bumpy Johnson's driver, and Bumpy Johnson is the king of Hollywood,
Hey,
Godfather.
Bumpy
Harlem.
Johnson. Bumpy Johnson wasn't no joke. If you ain't seen the boardwalk, bro, you missing a show. I like the boardwalk.
Actually have a show called Godfather Harlem, and it's all about Bumpy Johnson. And Frank is he was Bumpy Johnson's driver. He was also like
Hmm.
his apprentice, so he saw a lot of games. Bumpy passed away, Frank Lucas took over. I know a lot more about Boston, New York, Chicago,
Yeah.
Philadelphia, places like that, Jersey. I all of them play. They all have a big population of Irish Italians, and the
Oh yeah.
history is similar. You
Well, look, growing up in the streets, like you just get
know,
all that
Cleveland,
information
Danny
that you
Green,
can,
right?
like the mob stories,
You got a
Sammy the
sponge.
Bull and John
Yeah,
Gotti, and like I can't get enough of that
yeah,
history. Like just I was
yeah.
alive watching it happen, but I was younger.
A lot about that situation. My godfather walked up with Gotti. They even in Cleveland, they had they call him the Cleveland's Whitey
Commission.
Bug, Danny Green. Danny Green.
Hmm.
They actually have a great movie called Kill the Irishman, and Danny Green was ahead of time, very intelligent individual. He was talking about Muhammad Ali and why he didn't join the army, why they should legalize marijuana. He was decades ahead of time. This is very smart individual. He reminded me of a Whitey Bulger type figure.
Mm,
Out of Cleveland, took over Union. He paid everything green. He was driving a green Cadillac. Like the Italian mob tried to kill him for years and years and years. They had to bring people in from New York from the families all the way to
mm.
Cleveland to get rid of this. He was a problem. He was on news. He
He
was
was a
on the
problem.
news in real life. He was on the news real life with a trailer with a shamrock painted on it saying, I live right here. I work right here. If any of these gets from the so-called mob, gonna from live right here. I work right here. Come see me. They would kill him. They up his car, miss. They
Mm, yeah,
eventually take him up because he was such a problem.
yeah,
But
yeah.
this
That's
is
how it
deep,
goes.
deep, deep history.
Look at Tony the Ant Spilantro when they took him out from Vegas. They used like Iowa or
Oh yeah.
Chicago to do it. Yeah. We could do a whole podcast on just stuff like that too,
I was
bro.
gonna
I'm telling you, like,
Hey, I was just gonna say when we start getting to that, like I said, I wanted to do a cast about Vegas and how the mob in Vegas and Bill Ho, the
yeah,
Casinos and Lucky Lano and that whole that's a whole conversation, a whole nother day because
yeah,
that's a podcast. It's like that's a whole live itself right there.
yeah.
That story is just how
Oh
it
yeah,
turned the desert so the world's just adult playground like city.
yeah, yeah. Well, hey, and look, there's a Italian mob member, like a made member, that's also an A-dub because he caught life at a middle age, caught life, and was going to be in there in prison the whole time, and just showed out and he became a dub. You know,
Yeah,
so there's all kinds of shit like that.
yeah.
Like my homie Avon, his grandfather was the one that God, what's his name in Casino? Robert De Niro played Lefty.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like his grandnephew or grandson or something, and that was my homie growing up. Also, the Oklahoma City
You know, some
Bomber.
Gigannis and the
Hmm.
real Henry and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's crazy. Like my godfather, I don't want to get into it too much because God's a stand-up guy that did him, but
yeah,
godfather was locked with John Gotti, and he stood on business. He kept his mouth, but at first it was like he ran the streets. but he run the prisons. Got in
No.
prison to kind of adapt and uh,
No.
so he
Listen,
kind
it
of
went
throw some money around to make sure he's good. But once he got a few soldiers and he got comfortable, he tried to stop, and it went all bad without getting it too much.
it
Like
went
I
bad.
have a lot of respect for him. He's
Yeah.
kept it shut.
Yeah.
He's a stand-up guy, but
Yeah, I'll talk
this
about it.
wasn't his way. He might have been the telling Dawn on the street, but when in this is their home, ain't going nowhere in life. Like
Mhm.
he kind of adapted his surroundings. And but
Yeah.
yeah, my father was there for the whole thing, and it's just certain things just can
Yeah.
never really speak on. But wild times in the day.
There's a lot of
But yeah,
infamous sons
we have to do
in Vegas.
definitely. We definitely have to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
Vegas just I think is like when it comes to casinos in Vegas to me, it's like the mall literally back in the day you could walk
Oh,
in, it was just
man.
like nowadays it's like commercialized. It's kind of like Disney. It's like Disney World. Back in the day, it was all made. It ain't all the commercialized to this day. I'm not naive.
Listen,
Like I said, we got a casino out
S
here, but back in the day, it was just like
S Steve Wynn will still knock your fucking lights out in the alley, bro. Like, there's still
yeah,
that just people don't understand and don't know. That dude is
right.
a
And that's who
gangster.
opened the casino. Yeah, Encore
Mhm.
Casino. It's owned by him.
There you go. That dude is not to be
And there's a
trifled
lot of
with, and
politics to be
all the
involved.
streets of Vegas know it.
Yeah, and even unions involved in the casinos, unions, whether it was Irish or Italian, mob
Mhm.
had a hand, and one way or
Oh, yeah.
another, they had a hand in everything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just
Shout
it
out Steve
depends what
Wynn.
side you're on. Like, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it's
business
crazy,
gangster,
but it's
bro, but just
him,
gangster too, bro. It's crazy. Steve Wynn
big
ain't
money
he ain't
gangster,
he
big
ain't one to
money
play
gangster,
with.
cash money, not
Sheldon
at
Adelson
all.
wasn't somebody to play with. Like these dudes are still like that. How much I don't
Legendary,
even know. Yeah, yeah,
legendary.
yeah, legends. And Vegas is different though. We'll talk about that too on the next one. Yeah, Boxer
Yeah,
Enriquez.
definitely gonna
They
get it.
found Boxer
Yeah, we
Enriquez's
definitely.
son. Yeah, in
Yeah,
Vegas.
we
So
definitely got to get into
yeah,
Vegas
bro.
and talk about casinos, mob, and Luciano, and that
Yeah,
whole era is very fascinating. How they
yeah.
turned like a pile of and into all these brights and billions.
Hmm.
It's crazy what it did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it was great. It was great talking to you. It was great having. I appreciate you
Absolutely.
showing up, man. It's an honor. It's love and respect. We're definitely gonna do part two, probably part three. We'll do again and again. And
We should. I
appreciate
think
you
you
pulling
I
up.
think you got some good footage here, bro. I like this interview.
Yeah,
This
we
was
got some
good.
stuff. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good one, bro. We really, we spoke a lot, but I know at the same time we at least scratched the surface. So I
Yeah.
want some camera.
Now, yeah, we're gonna
But
rock together.
yeah,
We're gonna rock hard together on this one, bro. I got you. You
appreciate
got
I
me.
appreciate you pulling out. So
Mhm. All right,
have
brother.
a great night.
All right, brother.
Good night. Peace.